Ready?
I'm ready.
This is your spiritual podcast station, bringing you the uncut, unblocked, and unscripted. This is the only place in the podcast universe giving you a balanced approach and a look at the other side. Everything from A to Z. We are live right now in the 1831 studio. My name is Natia Moore.
And I'm Anthony Fliggins.
And this is Pastor Anthony Said. Welcome, everyone, to this episode of Pastor Anthony Said. We are in our interim period.
That's right.
Episode 105.
Yes, it is.
How about it?
Can't complain about that.
Yeah, how you doing today?
No complaints. What about yourself?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well.
Good.
Excellent day. Excellent day. Make sure that you all are logged in to Pastor Anthony Says. Share the broadcast, share the live. Make sure you like, share, and comment. Also, make sure that you check out our YouTube page at Pastor Anthony Said because it is up and running. We have all our new episodes available for you right now.
Right now. So you can come on and get involved and listen, critique, criticize, help, support.
Yeah.
That's right. Send some money, do something.
Yes.
You know, be a part of this so we can move forward. And we can do what we got to do. And that's about it. That's good.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for your grace, your mercy, and your unmerited favor. We thank you for being good, for being God, for being kind, for being wonderful. We thank you for being awesome, for looking beyond our faults and meeting us at our need. We thank you for being ever good. You are who you say you are in our lives, and we bless you for this, now and forever. In Jesus' name, give clarity of thought, give understanding hearts. Help us to have a meeting of the minds. We thank you in Jesus' name, amen and amen.
Amen.
Good. How you doing?
Okay.
Sometimes you hit the ground running. So it was that kind of day, and then after that it sort of mellowed out, and I'm fine. You're the best. When somebody says, I did a 360, turned all around, you better duck because they mean they're coming back for you. So when you really turn around in life, you're doing a 180. You know what I'm saying? And it's about face. But if you go all the way back around. No, because July, it means Julius season, and August is Augustine season. So before Julius and Augustine, there was no, you know what I'm saying? There were only 10 months to a year.
Yeah.
And how do I know this? It's because September. The 8th month. November is Nueve, which we think it's the 11th month, but November, Nueve is number 9. And December, Diaz, Dese, 10. We call it 12.
Okay.
So, yeah,
okay,
that's it.
Clarified, yes.
Yeah, so I try to tell everybody, y'all not as old as y'all think y'all. So, y'all,
Take it
I
easy.
need everybody just to act. I need everybody to calculate all the years that you've been born, and it's not hard calculation, and then take 2 months off of every year,
Okay.
and that's your real age.
There you go. That's nice.
That's your real age. That is your real age. So you are actually, oh my God, take 2 months off of every year, and that's your real age. So when you say black don't crack, and been doing a good work. Somewhere in between there, and I get my years mixed up. And so big a shout out to Miss May and CBS Daycare.
Yes.
They give her a shout out. Yes, yes, yes.
Absolutely.
Yes, right. Yeah, right in Baltimore, Maryland. And we were talking about life and life situations and how we handle life and what we do in life and what does it mean to go about life as an adult and the decision that we had to make, even though they may not be what we call quote unquote popular, and some decision that we make, we have to make them in solitude and in silence. It's one thing to say, it's one thing to make a decision while you by yourself. It's another thing to make a decision while you by yourself and you can't talk to anybody else, especially yourself. Because when you start talking to yourself, wait a minute, did I just make this decision? So sometimes you know what I'm saying? You can't even open up your mouth and say some of the things that you have decided to do because it don't make sense to you, but your spirit knows something.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to be silent and in solitude, both at the same time. And,
True.
And you got to be careful because in those moments, those inner demons start speaking. And you have to start listening to your better angels.
Exactly.
And you have to make wise decisions. So we had that conversation, and we have prayed. And then I told her, hey, come on. And then she said, we got to come to the podcast. Yeah. So me and my cousin got to come to the podcast because we got to let it out. We got some stuff to talk about.
Okay.
It is what it is. Life going to do what life going to do. I said, okay, guess what? We are in our interim period. We are inviting
Perfect
guests.
timing.
We are actually upgrading our system so we can better serve our community. And so we plugged her in.
She's in.
I called her one week. I called her about 2 weeks. I said, hey, you on Monday? She said, when? I said, Monday coming. And let's go. And so that's where we are. So, this is our recording days on Monday, but we post on Tuesdays.
Yes.
Thank you. Post on Tuesdays. And we're moving forward. All right, Sharina.
I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Hello
Happy
to everyone.
Good.
I'm super nervous.
Okay. No worries.
No worries.
No worries.
Well, I am Sharina Edwards, as you know, a.k.a. Country, Big Country, Sunshine. Who else? Sugarfoot. I have several names.
Okay.
You just need to catch me and see which one you know.
Okay.
I'm representing my shirt right now, Perfectly Imperfect. We started a youth program. I also have a daycare, but I really want to get our youth program out there. We are in the ground part of it where myself and my partner, Patrick, he's not here. He was going to come today. He had to work. We're with our board members. We are, getting everything together. So we do have our 501c3. We want to work with children.
Wow.
We decided to work with school age, because I do have a daycare, so we'll get them to move up into the program that way.
Nice.
Just to give back, I have a safe haven for children. I was definitely one of them kids that felt like the outcast or the black sheep of the family per se.
Okay.
And I feel like I attract a lot of people like that too, that, just feel like they are different.
Okay.
Or they not as close to their family as they was. So I created my own family, as you can say.
Nice.
Wow. That's nice.
So I just want people to have somewhere they can come and just be themselves. A lot of times in life we feel like we can't be ourselves.
Absolutely.
We can't be our authentic self, and people criticize you a lot. And I've definitely went through different phases in life. And people like Anthony, who has been through a couple of them phases, accepted me who I am. And a lot of times people don't have that, and that's why a lot of times kids be committing suicide or they feel like they going crazy because they can't talk to anyone.
Right.
So I want them to have that place where they can come and just be them, even if they, as people say, bad, which I don't like to say, or they, do too much, or they hyper, or whatever.
You don't like using any of those words?
No.
So what word would you
because
use?
I was always.
I don't really like those words.
What
either.
words?
I'm not gonna lie.
Because
Come on,
what are the replacements?
So what
I
are the
don't like
It makes
replacement
it
words?
so negative. Like, I was the hyper kid. I talked too much. So, you don't want to feel bad about who you are. You're trying to figure out who you are. So,
I agree.
So what are the replacement words?
Energetic.
Positive-
Energetic.
Yes, you can use positive words.
Talkative.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
it's
look,
not
them talking
bad.
to people become people who come on the radio. Or,
Exactly.
they like to talk. You got to give them tools. Like, okay, you like to talk here, take this mic. Let's see what you guys say.
Yeah.
Or if you hyper, go flip on a trampoline or something. They could be a
Burn some of that
gymnastic. Burn
energy.
the energy off. Like, just show them different ways they can use what everybody view as negative into a positive.
Absolutely.
All right. What a name? Imperfect.
Perfectly imperfect. And I think
Where'd
that,
that come from?
okay.
It was that bird.
Because
Perfectly imperfect.
I felt like that we're all imperfect in some way. We all have flaws. We all have stuff that's, going on with us. And at the end of the day, we are perfect in our own way.
Okay.
So I'm imperfectly perfect.
Okay.
You get it?
You are imperfectly perfect or perfectly imperfect?
Perfect, yes.
Which one?
Perfectly imperfect. Yes, I'm perfectly imperfect.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's where it was. And that's where
yep.
it came from. You?
I was going through a phase, and I
Okay.
wanted to figure out why I'm the way I am,
Okay.
and that's where it started.
How old were you when you started going through this phase?
40.
Wait a minute. Stop.
So serious.
This is real.
Yes, I started like.
Wait.
why
How old are you now?
That's what I'm about to
42.
say. So she-
Okay.
So she,
I
I'm like,
really went on a journey, like
Are
right
you still
before
in
I
this
was
phase?
turning 40. I was like, why am I the way I am? What made me me? And I had to go back to my childhood and think about all the stuff and unpack all of that.
Are you still in this phase?
I don't think so.
You out of the phase?
I really feel like I feel like I'm grown out this phase now.
You're growing out.
Yes. I
So
feel
what was
better
the-
now.
what was the phase? Like, was the phase like figuring, like the
I
phase
just
was
really
figuring
wanted
out
to
who
know
you
who
are?
I was.
Okay.
Yep. And I just asked myself that question and wrote it down.
What was the question?
Who am I? And
Okay.
why am I the way I am? Because
Okay.
it was just little stuff about me that I just wanted to figure out, like, why do I do certain things? Or
Yeah.
why am I this way? And I just started thinking about when I was a kid and what made me be who I am.
Who
And what-
are you?
I feel like me.
I mean, you wrote it down, right?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't write down.
What was on the
who am
page?
I?
What was on the paper?
That question. That was it. That was the only thing that was on the paper. Was
Okay.
that question?
What was
And-
that? What were the answers? What did
But
you
the
write?
answers was I am outgoing.
Mhm.
I like to have fun. I am open arms with people. I've always been that way.
Mhm.
Where I haven't had a friend I haven't met. I feel like
Oh wow.
I can walk up to a stranger and start talking to them.
Mhm.
But a lot of that had changed because so many people told me it was wrong
Hmm.
or criticized how I was. And I wanted to get back to that person. I was always the one that turned the other cheek, even when somebody did something wrong with me. And I felt like I was becoming angry and bitter.
Yeah.
And I wanted to be light as a feather again. I wanted to be a light being. That's what it is.
Okay.
I want to be able to, if I walk up to you, I want you to feel my presence and I'll help you somehow or make you happy or put a smile on your face. And a lot of times, especially when I moved up here, woo,
Okay, where you from?
Where are you from? Because I was about to say, tell us about the name Big Country when you're done.
I'm from Appomattox, Virginia.
Say what?
Appomattox, Virginia.
What? Say it again.
Yes.
Appomattox, Virginia.
I know. Say it again.
Appomattox, Virginia.
Oh,
App-
Appomattox.
Yeah, I knew-
It's APPOMATTOX.
I know. I knew no one knew what she was saying. That's why I said keep saying it again.
Appomattox. Like,
Say
what
it
is
again. People were saying apple phase, apple ways. I knew.
Wow.
Say it. Say it one more time.
Appomattox, Virginia.
How
Appomattox.
far is that from Maryland or Washington,
3
D.C.?
hours, 4 hours,
Wow.
depending on which way you go.
How many people's in this town, country,
I
county?
don't remember.
Really? Is it
The
big or
small
But
small?
I just know that everybody that I went to school with, we all graduated together.
Oh,
we
so
all
it's small.
still friends.
Oh,
It's
so
a small
wow.
town.
Small town.
You know,
Small
they know
town.
you by your last name. Oh, that's such and such grandchild.
Yeah, yeah.
They
Okay.
don't know you. They know your family.
Family.
Wow.
Wow.
I've never heard of that part of Virginia.
Yeah.
Me
So
either.
they said it's where Lee Grant surrendered
Oh.
Okay.
So that's the only thing. Yeah.
Okay.
We got one jail, one courthouse,
Wow.
one
Wow.
elementary school,
Yeah.
one, you know.
Yeah.
Dang.
That's
When
small.
did you move from home?
When I turned 19, I have no money. I bought a bus ticket and was like, I'm out of here. Sharon, my cousin, who I was wanted to come on here,
Uh-huh.
told me one day when she came down there, you should come to Baltimore. And I was like, for real?
I think I'll take you up on that.
Take you up on that.
And you literally
And
went
I
and bought
literally did it.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I came here. Oh my gosh, it was definitely a transition.
I
So many
bet.
people, I used to speak to people. I used to get lost for hours. People would not speak. I got banged in my face. Oh my gosh, I just go through. None of my friends wanted to go anywhere with me because they felt like I just had this target on my back.
That's terrible.
So it wasn't like that in the country.
No, when you go down there, people always waving at you, speaking to you. So it's like
I
it's
hear that.
different coming here and you are from there, and then people just looking at you, frowning, and you speaking to them, and they act like, "What are you talking to me for?"
Yeah.
I hear a lot of people from out of town say that when they come to Baltimore, initially is like the worst experience
It is.
because they think we're not friendly and, like you said, we don't speak and things like that.
And the air is terrible. I broke out. I got
Really?
sick.
People come to
Yes.
they say our air's a great
Water.
quality.
Our water.
I broke
I
out.
thought they said the air. I have a
air
lot of
is
asthmatic patients.
Here?
Yes. I have a lot of respiratory patients that come
Come
here and
in?
say they came here because of the air quality, but maybe compared to where they were.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I do. I hear
Yeah,
it all
so
the time.
I think in 2000, and if I'm not mistaken, 2010, as we 2020, what we at 23 now?
23.
I think like 2010, we were like the fifth meanest city in America.
Not the meanest.
meanest. Yeah, so they call it. We would like the
The
fifth
meanest,
meanest. Let's
wow.
call it the fifth meanest. This like a thing. Like we were the fifth meanest city. Like
Oh,
this city just
Baltimore.
don't speak to you. You know what I'm saying? And I think Baltimore like that because Baltimore is so competitive.
Yeah.
That's why Baltimore is very competitive. And so since Baltimore is competitive, it's some people just don't sort of speak because you got so many jewels. You know what I'm saying? So much treasure in one place. And we call it crabs. But again, it's treasure in one place. And all this treasure, we seem not to have enough for, I guess, to celebrate within each other because we feel like that we are actually taking something away
Yeah.
from ourselves,
It's true.
honoring someone else or speaking to someone else. And that right there sort of just leaks into everything else and in the way we relate to each other. But that's what's Baltimore.
But there's some good people here.
Oh yeah.
like-
Once you get to know the people,
There's a lot of
Yeah.
good people here.
It is.
once
It
you
is.
break the ice,
You know, so you know how I see Baltimore? I call Baltimore the Nutcracker City.
there you go.
That's
Okay.
what I call Baltimore.
I'll
I
take
call
that.
Baltimore a nutcracker city. If you mind your business, you're okay. But if you act like a nut, they're going to crack you.
Okay.
I call Baltimore, if you act like a nut,
All right.
this city's going to crack you.
There you have it.
And so, but if you mind your business, stay to yourself, stay on your grind, stick to your people, you're going to be okay. That's Baltimore.
I think some people can make it. I know my godmother used to be like, "Why don't you come home? Why are you putting yourself through this?"
Right.
Why are you putting yourself?
Yeah.
Did it continue for a while, or did it get?
You
When
know
did it get
how
better?
everybody go through different things. I had good moments in bed,
Okay.
but
You
I
can
learned
drink
a
some
lot
water?
here. Yes, I
Yeah,
did.
drink a little
Go
sip.
ahead, take your time.
Take a little sip.
It's not the nerves, it's the air quality.
Which
one is it?
We got the ceiling fans on.
It's the air
We trying to
quality.
circulate.
Did we need to cut the air conditioner off?
No, I'm
You
good.
sure?
Is it?
Yeah.
You let us know now. We're going to make you
All right.
comfortable. Take a moment. You at home.
As a matter of fact, we can go to a break real quick.
You want to go to a break?
We can go.
Yeah.
Let's
to
go
a
to a
quick
break. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right.
Go ahead.
This
know,
is your
something's in
spiritual
my throat.
podcast station. Be sure to check out all new episodes of Pastor Anthony Said every Tuesday. Episodes are available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and everywhere that podcasts are available. Episodes are also available on our YouTube channel at Pastor Anthony Said. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe today. We love you, and thank you for loving us. This is your spiritual podcast station, Pastor Anthony Said, and we are excited to bring you lunch at Truth Cafe. Introducing lunch at Truth Cafe every day. Come in for all your Truth favorites, plus new cheesy tacos, ribeye savory melts, and delicious burgers. Over 7 lunch combinations starting at just $6.99. Truth Cafe. Make sure you come in for lunch with us. We'll see you there. Peace and Love Yoga Studio is here for you. Located at 5001 Harford Road, Suite C, Baltimore, Maryland. Peace and Love Yoga Studio is calling all beginners and caregivers in any capacity. That's right, all parents, healthcare workers, and teachers. Our studio is a place of restoration and oasis for you. Peace and Love Yoga Studio offers in-person classes every Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. with special drop-in rates of just $30. Yoga mats are available for you to rent. Other services include private yoga sessions and private Reiki sessions. Peace and Love Yoga Studio offers so much for you, and we look forward to practicing with you. Call or text 410-814-1386. That's 410-814-1386. Or contact us on Instagram or Facebook at Peace and Love Yoga 333. Namaste. We'll see you soon. Yes, yes. Listen, Pastor Anthony said is officially taking advertisements. If you want your business or your product advertised, make sure you email us today at pastoranthonysaid@gmail.com. Yes.
Good.
All right, let's
All
see.
right, we back?
Are we okay?
That's what you get.
I don't think I want to share any more stories.
No.
So how was life in the country?
Oh my gosh.
And how old? So what
What's
is
the
your ring?
timeline?
Yeah, what's your ring?
What's the difference
Pre-Baltimore.
between
Just who are you pre-Baltimore?
Tom girl?
Okay.
Definitely. Chickens, horses, pigs.
Wow. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Your family had a farm?
I mean, we had. To me, it felt like a farm because we had
Wow.
like 13 cats. We had like 46 pigs. We
What?
had chickens. We had
I've
a
never
horse.
met anyone
My horse
with a
name
farm.
was Dolly. Like,
Oh.
like we used to garden because I was taught
Ahead
to
of
kill a
everything.
chicken. You know.
You know how to break a chicken neck.
Yeah, she
This
took
is
me
a
out
lot.
there, and
Okay.
she was like, she had this big fire and
Let
hot
us hit-
water.
let us-
You to the
The Chick-fil-A babies.
Look,
And the
this
KFC
is
babies.
how your chicken
and the
died.
Papa babies. Come on.
This is how your chicken
But
died.
she didn't
Please.
pop. She took this. She had this little piece of wood. She took
Okay.
an axe, and you know that little saying where you run around here with your
Chicken
head-
like a head cut
Yes,
off?
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
literally what they do.
Okay, so what happened?
She chopped his head off, and then she was like, "You gotta follow it," and it just ran around with his head cut off until he finally died.
Wow.
And then
that-
we pick it up by his feet. Then you take it to the water. You dip it in that hot water, and then you gotta start plucking the feathers.
Let's keep on going.
Oh my god!
So wait. So when you pick out the chicken, like how you know which chicken you gonna like
No,
you just
see, my grandma, she knew which one was like the fully grown ones, and then I had to
Okay.
get up early in the morning before school and get eggs. Like we had to do.
wow. You said there's some buzzing
We used
going
to go
on. It's hard to
hunting.
hear.
What they
So,
say
yeah.
is buzzing going on?
There's some buzzing going on and hard to hear.
Okay.
Definitely a country girl.
Let us see.
Let's see what we got going on here.
Let us see.
We
if
are
it
we are
gets
in our
better.
interim period, so we are working on this thing, and so we're trying to get this thing together. Yeah, see
Let's
see what we got here.
But yeah, shout out to all the hardworking,
Chicken.
farm
Chicken
Farm
killers.
people, chicken killers, pig killers too. You know, you gotta shoot a pig between his eye. Here, right here.
Really?
Yes. Or you mess all the meat up.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
My sister still hunts deers, and she sent me a picture one time. Her husband had the deer strung up in the garage, and they was going to work. I was like, I ain't doing all that kind of work no more.
Wow. Oh, that is Then you got everything off, or we still on? How we
Oh, we
live?
still on.
We still on. We just
Yeah,
trying
I'm
to
just
trying to
trying
work
to-
it
just
out.
trying-
I think
fix
it's
it,
just
but yeah.
I think it's just like the tightness.
I think everybody should appreciate the market
What you mean by that?
because we had to get our chickens from the chicken coop. We had to kill our meat. My grandmother used to put meat in the attic in the wintertime.
I'm taking if your country, you can
We had-
appreciate that.
I mean, yes.
you know?
And we had to, like when she made tea, I used to know go in the woods, go find the certain tree trunk that I had to dig up and get the roots for her tea or mint leaves or just anything.
Wow.
But I do. At first, I hated it, especially
Okay.
growing up like that.
Yeah.
But then, as I'm older now, I appreciate it because my work ethic is like good.
What they saying that about?
We working on it.
Oh, he working on
Yeah,
seeing.
just keep going.
Okay,
This
okay.
is getting better.
All right,
but
all
that's
right,
fine.
all right, all right.
Everything's
We're
better.
still working on it, everybody. So, Sharina, that's who you were. This is who you were pre-Baltimore.
Yes.
So coming to Baltimore, but y'all did have supermarkets and stuff like
Yes,
that. All those things
absolutely.
were available.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know. And could you drive before you came up here?
I was driving before we get our license. So what's different from down there to here? Y'all have to pay to go to school and stuff like that, driving
Right.
school. Like when we get in 10th grade, it's part of PE.
Part of what?
Part of PE is PE/driver education.
For real?
Yes, in school. So you wake up
Okay,
early
with that.
when you're in 10th grade. You
And-
go to school early.
In your public schools?
Yes.
Hold on, repeat that because I just got back in the conversation.
I
We
was
back.
just
Everything's
so,
all clear.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
was just shocked when I came up here and everybody like, you gotta go to driving school, you gotta pay for it, and I'm like, that's so weird. Like it was part of PE.
It was part of PE.
Yes,
To do what?
go to drive.
That's PE
Really?
is public education or physical education? Which one?
Physical education.
It
like
was
gym.
part of PE, like gym.
Yeah, so you went to gym or you
Wow.
went the second quarter of your semester in school.
Yeah.
You go to
It was
driver's
driver's
ed.
ed.
Yeah,
It was part of the system.
That makes
part of the
sense.
system.
That makes sense.
Wow.
But you gotta think, everything down there is so far.
Y'all probably
You
was
drive
driving when
like
y'all was
20
like,
miles
okay, that's
to
right.
get to
That's
something.
right.
So
That's
you gotta
right.
learn to
because y'all
drive.
drive
That's
real
right.
young, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Like 7.
We be driving. Yeah, you know, we had a wagon, so I'm already driving a horse, so I could drive a
Yeah,
car
wow.
or a tractor. So yeah, you learn to drive early.
This is interesting. I
Okay.
didn't
Just
know.
like up here, where you gotta get elected into a school for like culinary arts or childcare.
Mhm.
That's a part of our like high school. When you get to
Oh.
high school, you get to pick what elective you want to be in, and
Wow. Like
you-
what vocation and all of that
yes,
and stuff?
and
Wow.
it becomes a part of your classes, and then you graduate with your certificate. It's kind of just weird that if you don't, and just think about kids who really just good at that stuff, and they're not good at the other stuff, and you don't get elected into a school that has what you want to do. You think school is boring.
Yeah.
Sometimes you only go for that trade.
Right.
And it
right,
makes
right.
it fun when you get a good grade in that trade and stuff like that. But then when you can't go to a school that has your trade, it's like,
Yeah.
what am I going to school for?
Yeah.
Because not everybody is a school person.
That's right. That's right. That's
So it was good to graduate with my child care
Mhm.
certificate
Uh-huh.
and still my diploma too as well.
I think the world is now waking up to that. I think
Yeah.
for so many, for
Uh-huh.
so many years, you know, the general consensus was, you know, you go to school, you go to college,
Mm-hmm.
you come out and you get a job, you know what I'm saying, or a career, you know, what you call a career, I call it a carrier. You know, you get a career or a carrier, and then you take that, and then you know that's your life right there. Do
Yeah.
the best you can. I guess jump into the middle class, and if you're lucky enough to work hard, you'll be in the upper class, but not too many up there. But you know, a good, decent, and I think that is what the world was looking at for many years. I believe that around 2000, somewhere around that, the boom of the internet, things started changing. And people started looking at life a little bit different. And people started saying, hey, a lot of people that go to school for a certain subject does not have the career in the subject they went to school for. And you know what I'm saying? That they don't have a career in that subject. So people looking like, wait a minute, is this a good or bad investment?
Yeah.
And people stop looking at status as you're being an intellectual. Status is not no longer, you know what I'm saying? Status was one thing, you know, you wanted to be the one that talked smart and to look educated. You know what I'm saying? That
Yep,
was a
that's
mark
true.
of status. Now, money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now it's like, hey, man, we don't care how many words you know. You know what I'm saying? 500,000 words in the English language.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean anything
much.
if you cannot pay that cellular bill. You know what I'm saying?
Not a
Yeah,
thing.
So you're
that's
something like
true.
you smart for no reason.
Well, I mean, I feel like the system is creating dummies anyway.
Where did that come from?
Because I know of kids who failed classes or failed for the year and they still get bumped up because there's no child left behind.
You're talking about
Type
something
thing.
different.
But I'm just saying,
That came along. That No Child Left Behind came along with oh man, what's the president name with 9/11 guy? Junior Bush Jr. Is it Bush
Oh.
Jr.? Yeah. Bush Jr. He came along and started that No Child Left Behind.
but it's
thing.
setting our kids up for failure.
That did set our children up for that did set our children up for failure because it allowed them to sort of graduate, push them through the system.
Yes, it pushes them through the
It
system.
pushed them through the system. I believe that education today in America has a bureaucratic tone to it. I don't really believe it's about educating our children, but I think it's more about competing with the world. And what the world is, and the world, I guess, the next generation of whoever's that's whatever. Because when you look at America, they'll say stuff like, our children's math scores are at this level, but then they take our children's math scores and then they measure it with China's, the kids in China math scores, and then they leave it right there. But you got to look at the fine print. And here's the fine print. The fine print is they measure our children with China's best and China's brightest. They don't take all of China's schools and measure those standards with America's schools. They take China's top schools and measure that with all America's schools. Hence, therefore, you'll be able to be bureaucratic and say, America needs this kind of money in the education system in order to keep our kids in the competitive global society. And that's what we're looking at right now. And so it's kind of weird when you look at the fine print, but we got to kind of not look at what you see on the screen. And you know that there is something behind everything that's said and seen.
Absolutely. Right.
So when they talk about, everybody who listens to me, when they talk about our children can't compete with the world, don't y'all believe that. Don't believe it. They are measuring America's children with the world's best, which is unfair. However, the advantage is it becomes bureaucratic, and then you can put policies in place from which you can finance a certain system or a certain way of educating our children. You can get the with the Bill Gates involved and stuff like that, so that our children will be able to compete on a global scale. At the end of the day, we are the ones that are making the most and creating the most and having the. We are the country of ideas.
Definitely.
And basically, it's the system. It's the system that's in place. And what system am I talking about when dealing with education? The creed, the pursuit of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. That right there. When we're looking at life and we're being educated and look at life, we're not looking at life just to be smart. We're looking at and teaching our children, we just don't want you to be smart. Y'all got to be rich, prosperous. Yeah. So America has a lot to do with business and business venture and open up big businesses and starting things. And you know what I'm saying? We are in that. That's what America is built on. Sort of an idea. You know what I'm saying? It's a corporation.
It's a corporation.
Yes,
exactly what it is.
You go somewhere else in the world, man, you know what I'm saying? It's not, all of that pressure of trying to get somewhere. Here goes another word, the American dream.
Oh, yes.
You hear what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You want to live the American dream.
Yep.
And say, what's the American dream? To own your own house. What's the American dream? To live here. What do you want to be when you grow up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they tailor your life to be that because that is what America is built upon.
Yeah.
People came here to get away from everything, to make money, to be
and
above.
still coming
For those same things. So it was built on that, and the education system follows those standards.
For sure.
And so it's a little different. So No Child Left Behind is a real thing, but they're pretty much telling you that your child will be left behind, and they ain't got no chance at this.
It's crazy.
What we're saying is, we can still, or people that does not have that level of education that the higher schools have, or the so-called better schools have, those children are still have the opportunity to be wealthy and be rich. And that's the change of the internet and all these things and these ideas and the Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, prime example, in East Coast is brick and mortar. West Coast is, computers and laps, and iPhones and all that stuff like that. It's different. That's why they call it the Pacific Ocean. The word Pacific is calm, to pacify. So and that's why the Pacific Ocean, we over here on the East Coast, Atlantic Ocean. That's where we are right now, building off Atlantis. But we'll deal with that another day, another time. So brick and mortar over here, hard work, grind, getting real estate. You know what I'm saying? Family business every day. Get out there, New York. Get out there, rush out there, get it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
so if you look at the hustle, you look at New York, but you look at LA, it's a different story. LA is not seen as the hustle city. Now, easy to see that you go when you make some things. Yeah, but that hustle and grind, that get out every day and walk past somebody without speaking because you're just trying to get to the next thing, that's that New York life. That's it right there. But think times are changing. You know that guy that was maybe about 4. I'm gonna let you have the mic after this. But remember that guy? Remember that guy I don't know where he's from. He's a black guy, but he would do the TikToks and the reels, and he would show somebody do something complex, and he go like this, and he just go like this. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, right? What's his name? Kirby. Y'all think his name? You know what I'm talking about, right? All he do is like this. So somebody would try to, I guess, put on a pair of shoes, and they would do it like jump off of a chair and jump inside their sliders, and they would fall. And what he would do is he would just step up and just put both of his feet in the sliders, and like that's it. Like it's not that complicated. He's a millionaire, and all he did was show a millionaire.
Right. So basically, created event like
all he did was show simple ways
to do hard stuff.
And he's a millionaire. And here am I preaching, giving all my money away, acting like Jesus, helping out the community. You know what I'm saying?
Listen.
I can't get a plaque on my birthday.
It's real.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's how it be.
So, it's
Those funds
times have changed.
correct.
Times have changed.
Dispersed.
And so now we got to do a different way in our education system because things are just changing. We're living in a changing world, but that's serious, though.
But I feel like school prepares you for work, to be an employee.
Okay.
Because it make you come there at a certain time. You change, basically like shifts. You go to different classes at a certain time. You got to be at lunch at a certain time. And then the reward is your report card.
Okay.
When you do the work. So it teaches kids to just be punctual, to clock in at a certain time, be there. If you tardy, you get a note. You get in trouble. It prepares you early just to work. It doesn't prepare them to be creative and, think outside the box. You have to do exactly what's going on in this school. You got to dress a certain way. You got to everybody come together. It's just almost working in a warehouse.
It is a factory.
Factory.
A little conveyor belt.
And I feel like in our school, like we had home ec. We had wood workshop where you used to build mechanics.
Yeah.
They used to work on cars in school. It taught kids to work with their hands and trade. We had business on one end of the school where they could learn about business if that's something you're into. And a lot of kids, you don't know what they're into because we're not tapping into that part of them. We're just making them go to school, get them grades, because if not, you're in trouble. And they don't really like school. I've been talking to elementary kids who do not like school. And then around that time, you supposed to that should be the fun.
Yeah.
Elementary, you should be having fun every day, but then kids are getting picked on, they're getting bullied, there's so many fights.
And then, like you said, it's just not catered to their interest to a certain extent. So it's kind of just blah.
Yes.
That's interesting.
Yeah. It's funny because my mother always says that like she kind of feels sorry for some of our generations because they had home ec, like you said, and things like that. And she just felt well-rounded as a woman.
Absolutely.
When she came out, even though she decided to, go to college and continue her education, like she knew how to sew,
cook.
She knew, she
all
knew
that. It taught you
all
of
the
school.
Yeah. So
that's basically what we want to do with kids.
Okay.
That's what y'all want to do.
Yes.
Nice.
Because I felt like that's how I grew up.
Okay.
And that's what taught me a lot of the stuff that I know.
You can cook?
No, we ain't gonna say I can cook.
You can't cook? I feel like you can
this
cook.
This is the old man. A feel. Cook ain't no feeling.
I mean, that just sits there.
I feel like it
cook
should be
ain't
something.
no feeling.
I just,
I don't feel like I can cook.
You know, I know her.
Like
so
you look like you sprinkle a little something in there.
I know Sharina. So I threw it out there like from the country and can't cook. Yeah, okay.
Now, I done watched my grandma make everything from scratch.
Let us hear it.
I did not, listen, I picked up on the other side. I can hammer. You want to build something?
Right,
I got
Kill
you.
a chicken.
Yup.
Right.
I was outside with Grandpa.
Milk a cow.
Shoot a pig.
The bacon is not
Skin a
with me.
turkey.
Yup.
I don't know.
But
I can go get
I'm
you
not
the
sure, I'm
wood
sorry.
to put in the fireplace. Because, we had a wood stove.
Was you cutting? You was chopping wood and stuff?
We had a wood stove.
Wow.
You know.
You just didn't
This
get
is real.
you can clean.
Yeah, I can clean your house like I don't know what. That's
Yeah.
my happy moment right there.
Yeah, right. Just not the cooking thing.
Cooking
wasn't
thing,
it?
yeah.
You cannot cook.
I was not in the kitchen. Listen, when I first came up here, y'all had so many carryouts. Oh my God, I was like heaven. I ain't gotta cook. I can go down the street to get me a cheese fish sub. Like, it's the best
Chicken
thing
box.
ever, y'all.
Salt, pepper, ketchup.
Now they're caught up with me in my old age and it's gut. Like, yeah, you don't think about that.
Wow.
That's so interesting.
So
Okay.
that's something. Can't cook.
is.
Okay.
But listen, I took the class. I passed.
You did pass the
I
class.
did. I got my certificate.
Which class? The
Culinary arts.
okay.
And I took child care. So you can take 2
Really?
and graduate with them both.
Oh my.
But you still aren't able to
still
cook.
can't cook.
So what y'all do in the culinary arts class? Like what is
They
it?
taught you like the basics, like all the different utensils, everything to cook,
okay.
and then like for different exams, you had to like make certain
Okay.
things. I made a limerine pie, all of that.
Oh,
Now, yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Okay. okay.
we ain't burning
Okay.
nothing.
You're not.
yeah. Right.
So you've never tried a Thanksgiving.
I tell Paige, this is what I am. I am his sous chef. I can chop, prep, clean the kitchen, wash the dishes. You cook it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go get it for you. I'll prep it for
prepare it.
you.
Yes.
Yes. I know what my gift is.
Right.
You gotta know where you're good
Let
at.
what you say? Let the preparers prepare.
Yes. I can prep it, chop it, get everything you need for it.
Mm-hmm.
But to put it all together, yeah, I'm gonna leave that for the get somebody else to do it.
Okay. All right. I get it. Okay. Because I can't cook either. I'm gonna learn how to cook though.
I really want to. I feel like if I could cook like them health. I like chickpeas. You know how you go to
yeah,
a
that's
restaurant
easy.
and they
Here
be
we go.
making like
Yeah.
vegan food with no meat and stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be so good. I
Yes.
just can't cook.
You just can't go. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well. Okay. Miss can't cook from the country, which is a kafufu.
It
This
also
is
took a culinary arts class.
It took a culinary arts class. That's a
That's
serious.
fine. That's fine. That's fine.
That's all right. That's serious. You're different.
Yeah.
Perfectly.
Imperfectly
Yes,
imperfect.
yes, thank you.
My God.
Right?
Here we are.
All right. So the transition coming up here. So you went through all it down there. You get here, and when you get to Baltimore, I'm notwithstanding everything that you've been through as a woman making that transition, what was the hardest part? I'm not talking about the people not speaking in Baltimore, not having good air. You're not talking about you just cough all over my show and just
All
had
on
to
the
go-
mic.
oh, had
It's
to
like,
get-
just joking.
Just had to
Just
get yourself
jokes.
together. I ain't talking about that.
Just jokes.
No, what I am saying is, as an honest question, what was the hardest part for you coming up here? And I have to give you some kudos because you had the courage to make a move.
Yes, at
When certain
19.
people wouldn't move at all.
Mm-hmm.
And so coming up here, what was like the hardest part? Like this is the
I think for me, it was like figuring out the stuff I didn't know. Even though I felt like I knew a lot, it was a lot I wasn't taught.
Mm-hmm.
okay.
You know, like how to open a bank account
Okay.
or about finance,
Right.
about money, that my family never prepared me for.
Right.
So I learned a lot from people. Like my
Okay.
boss taught me how to open an account when I first got my job,
Okay.
which I got like 3 months after being here. Yeah, kudos.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
Nice.
but yeah, it's like because I was working so much and I was making a lot of money and didn't know what to do with it. Like if I knew what I knew now back then,
Yeah.
I just had money. I was renting cars for months.
Wow.
Like just because I was working 2 jobs. One job I got paid every week. The other job I got paid every 2 weeks. No,
Okay.
you know what I'm saying?
So
No
you just had-
responsibilities. Like, and
What was you doing with your money?
even like one time I didn't even know money was missing. Somebody stole money from me, stole my starter checks, had written. Yeah, it was just a lot. And my boss really helped me, Jimmy. Never forget him. He really walked me through a lot of that, like how to get my bank account straight and budget and stuff that I just wasn't taught for real.
Yeah.
And applying for jobs too for real. Like nobody really walked me through it. I kind of learned a lot on my own.
Right.
So it was like a transition of learning stuff. Even coming here and not really having nobody like walk you through like this is where you go, this is where you go. My cousin just was like, look, you ain't come up here to be outside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She just gave me that conversation at a table one day. You came here to do something with yourself. So then it was like, okay, let me go out here and I just walked.
Were you
Yeah.
ever homeless during this period?
Yes, at one point I was staying at like this lady house and was paying,
Yeah.
her to stay at her house. I had met her up here. And then I moved into Tony and them. And, I kind of bounced around I learned a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And, yeah, learned a lot.
So in that move, you're still finding yourself as a woman.
Yes.
Yeah, you're still trying to because I guess at this moment, parental guidance is still needed at those
Absolutely.
ages.
Yes, absolutely.
Because people think that we become adults, you don't
19
need
is still
19.
you
You
need
still
some-
need it. I'm just different.
Yeah.
I may not, and I say this about my sons. I got two sons, 19 and 17. Like they don't need a quote unquote daddy, but they do need a coach.
Yeah, for sure.
They do need a counselor. They do need someone to guard and to guide. You know, so I have to learn how to make that transition and know that I'm not going to get that innocent, jolly
Response.
daddy
Response,
look
yeah.
when they look into my eyes. You
Yeah.
know
So
what
I'm
I'm saying?
thankful for
Go
your
it.
father.
Go for it.
So when I met Bishop, you know, I feel like he was a godsend to me.
Yeah.
You know, like they introduced me to, you know, the church and stuff like that. Because Bishop really helped me, like, as the dad role.
Yeah.
Even though my father lives here and I met him, like, you know, was
Your
around
father's
him.
in Baltimore.
Yes.
Wow.
And that was an experience
Wow.
in itself, too.
This is serious, right?
Like,
This is serious. So when
seriously.
you came here, some family here.
Yeah.
Cousin and
my
your
cousin
father.
and my father.
And you
yeah.
still had to go through
Okay.
these streets. Okay.
Different, yeah, because my
Wow.
father, I really didn't grow up with him, so he ain't know me, I ain't know him.
Mm.
And he couldn't even get my name right. So,
Wow.
like, and I really had to, as a female, learn, knowing that your father is raising a family and being okay with the fact that he didn't want to raise you, you know,
That's
like
something.
going through
It's a
that.
lot.
But I've been blessed with a lot of men, like Pop, he passed away. My godmother, boyfriend was very influential in my life, and Bishop was definitely, he helped me buy my house when I was 22. Like, he
Wow.
really took me under his wing.
To
and
come
was
up
like,
here at 19 and already buy a house at
I
20.
bought a
22.
house at
Yeah.
22.
The work ethic that she
Yeah.
had.
Yeah,
That's serious.
yeah. Bishop was like, no, this is what we're going to do.
Wow. That's good.
And you had a business.
Yep, and then that's when I started my daycare.
In
In
your
my
20s.
first house.
Wow.
I was in my 20. I was 22. Yep. I went
That's
to school
something.
for nursing,
Mm.
and then I went for childcare, and it just, yeah.
Wow.
Man,
Wow, that's great.
that's a lot. Serena, that is a lot for a young lady. So you have like a full story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The kids get tired of me telling them because I be mad at them. I feel like they lazy. They are lazy because I feel like at your age, I had about 2-3 jobs.
Full-time jobs.
Yes.
Right. Seriously.
Serena did have 3 jobs,
did.
y'all.
I
She
used to work.
had 3. I said, and I was like, why are you always on your feet?
Mm.
I remember telling her
Yup.
that your feet was hurting, and she was
Yes,
like, I
they
was
still
going from
hurt.
one place to another place to the next. I just remember Serena just always on
Working.
the go.
Wow.
You know, it's like, yeah, just making it happen and moving. And that's what I
have
remember
a
about
question.
her. Go for it.
So, I know a lot of people that like go away to college or go away to wherever. A lot of times, what's that?
It's not me.
That's
Is
not
that
me.
see? That's
See,
the
that's that stuff.
iPad.
That's that stuff. Hold on one second.
Yeah. It might have
Get me
stopped.
up. That's all.
It's
Okay,
stopped.
go ahead.
You might need to
Yeah.
let him know. I'll let him know. Let her know. What was I saying? Okay. Like a lot of times when people go away out of town or to leave home and things like that, it's normally it can either be easy or it can be hard. It seemed like for you it was kind of easy. Was it something back home that you were kind of just ready to get away from? Were you escaping something like, or you just was like, I want to start fresh? Like, what was the thought for a 19-year-old to be like, you know what, I need to leave this part of my life?
I feel like for me, I've always felt like I was supposed to be somewhere else or in the city. Like,
Okay.
even being in the country, I just felt like I didn't belong. I always knew I wanted more. It's like something inside you I feel like you gotta have. It's gotta drive you even when you don't have nobody like in your ear kind of telling you like you gotta get up and do this, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. So I kind of always ventured off anyway on my own.
Okay.
Even when I had my car, like if you ask my godmother, like if one day I felt like I'm gone, I would like disappear on them for 3 months.
Really?
Really? Say that again. Say that one more time.
You ask my godmother, like
Back home.
back home, I would disappear.
Where would you go?
So I found out my father's side of the family was in Buckingham. I would just go down there
Wow.
and then be there.
You
for
were like very independent.
yes, I
all
just
the-
was like,
okay.
oh, I got my car, I have a bag in it, I'm gone.
Wow.
You still like that right now? Are you still like that?
I don't travel like I used to. I'm so boring. I feel I got bored.
So you wouldn't just jump up
I don't
now
jump,
and just
no,
go.
I think about everything now.
Okay.
Because I don't think I'm boring. I just think that I have a family, I have business, I have
Other responsibilities.
other responsibilities now. So I can't just jump up and be like, hey, I'm going to go here.
Yeah.
Wow. Go ahead. Yours.
So yeah. So knowing that like you said about your dad or whatever, like I wasn't raised with my father. I'm just wondering, when you came to Baltimore, did something in you, did you have any type of desire to rekindle something with him? Did you think maybe coming here would be an opportunity to get closer? Did you have any expectation for your dad, like with the relationship or anything like that?
So I met my father when I was 13.
Okay.
My grandmother popped up. I didn't even know he existed. Like, his mother just popped up at my grandmother's house one day and was like, you need to know your father's side of the family type thing. And then I started going to her house and meeting uncles and aunts and people I didn't even know. And then he was there. He walked past me. I'll never forget it. He walked past me. He looked at me, said hi, and kept it moving. Never saw him again.
Really?
That's how you introduce.
Yep.
Tell us again.
To your dad.
I was at my grandmother's house. It was him, his wife, my brother, and my stepsister. They all came down from Baltimore. He walked up the house. He saw me sitting beside them. I think I had lipstick on or something. And he was like, wipe that off your face. Oh. And that's it.
That was it.
Yep. And then I saw him again when I was 16. He was getting married on my birthday.
Wow.
My grandmother picked me up out of nowhere. No one bought me a dress. I just rode with them up here to this wedding that I was not in.
Right.
On my birthday. Like, it was,
so he was kind of like a secret a little. Like,
well, my father I have brothers that that lives up here. I have stepsisters that live up here. I was just always the one down there.
Okay, I get it. And as I hear your response, you're laughing at it. I know a lot of people will look at it and start being a little upset. So you have dealt with this.
I have dealt with it. I have made my peace with my father.
How?
It took me a minute. Like, when I came up here, I really reached out to him. I would catch the bus over his house, and I watched how him and my stepsisters lived and how I didn't raise up like that. They never caught the bus. My father done provided for them. They had a different life than I did.
Wow.
And I used to always, at one point I used to be jealous of my sister Tanika because she used to be like me. It was almost like we were the same. And I was like, dang, he raised them ever since he was 4. Like, what was the issue? Like, and I always wanted to ask him, but he's one of them people, like, he from down there too, the country. He just came up here. So he real ornery. You can't ask him nothing. Whatever he say goes. You can't really have a conversation with him. So it's just like I just had to make peace with it with myself. Even when he had an accident and got sick, I was there to take care of him.
Wow.
I took him to his appointments. I made sure he had his medicine. He used to come to my house all the time to escape his house half the time. But it is what it is. But he don't like because I call him out on all that stuff.
So y'all never had the conversation? Never.
Okay.
I question this man about.
Still alive?
Yes.
Okay.
I question
He
this
been here a
man
couple
about,
times.
yes.
Oh,
Been here a
wow,
couple
okay.
times.
When he used to not get my name wrong, he told me it was my fault.
What do you mean when he used to get your name wrong?
Yes, he would not say my name right. And I said something to him one day. I was like, my name is Sharina. And he was like, oh, it's not my fault. You don't come around enough. That's him.
Wow.
So it's just like, and then if I say something to him or correct him or tell him he's doing something wrong, he is not one of them people.
So you will call him out, though?
Yes. And he don't like it.
You don't like it.
So he'll go and stay away forever.
But my question to you is, how did you make peace with it?
I realized that.
And I'm only asking you before perfectly imperfect.
Okay, so when I was
and
going
for
through my
everybody
journey,
who was listening,
Yes.
when I went through my journey,
Please tell us.
and figuring out who I am, I had to make peace with it because at the end of the day, I was raised a certain way because of someone. And he was raised a certain way. He done went through something too. And I think we put this, our parents on this pedestal like they supposed to be
Human
perfect, or they not human, or they didn't have a childhood. And he might not obviously he didn't do the work to figure out why he is the way he is, or what hurt him. Like he just seemed hurt to me.
Okay.
And I can't stay there. And it's not about him. It was for me. It was the healing for me. So I just forgave him. He couldn't be there. He missed out.
Okay.
It was his loss.
That's how you take it.
You get what I'm saying? So and I'm not going to not be there if he need me. He calls me anytime he needs something. He need me to take care of something. He'll be like, that's our relationship. I don't look for nothing more no more. I don't have no high expectations that I did when I first came here. Like we was going to have this great relationship and stuff like that. And I feel like I'm blessed by the people that God did bless me with.
Yeah. Good.
Bishop taught me about how a man's supposed to treat a woman and open the door for you and stuff like that. Like I would have missed out on all of them great people.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, and my father texts me every morning.
I was about to ask you.
He will not come see me
But he will text
He will
you.
text you.
He will
What does
not
he say?
call
Like
the
good
phone.
morning? Like what does
He
he
will
say?
send me like a million of these prayer images.
That generation. They will send you the.
And he'll say good morning and
Oh,
stuff like that.
yes.
And he won't have a real conversation. I will
Okay.
text him back and be like, "How you doing, Dad? You can stop by. You know, you can come to the house." Nothing.
Wow.
But he will text me good morning, and I have accepted that.
You're
That's
okay
him.
with that? Yeah, you're
That
okay
is
with that.
just where he at.
I
That's
know
where
that a
he
lot
is.
of people who really can't deal with the fact that their parents have done something that they don't agree with or they should have done when they were younger. And what they do is they hold everything against them. I mean, to the degree that they don't even let their children see the grandchildren.
Mm-hmm.
They don't let them
Yeah.
see their grandchildren.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen people like this, and they just cannot let certain things go.
But who is it hurting?
That's where I'm going
get
with
what I'm
it. That's where I'm
saying?
going
Like,
with it.
They just sometimes parents aren't good parents, but they be the best grandparents.
Parents, yeah, that's
Sometimes,
just true. That's
Because
true.
they realize they messed up.
yeah,
You know,
that's true.
So they feel like when they have
They
grandkids,
get to
that's
start
their
over.
second chance. Like
Yeah.
you don't know who I am, you don't know how I was,
Right.
and I'm gonna come in and just show you the best.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then when they come
That's
in
how
with the
they-
gifts on Christmas, they're
Yeah.
like, "Dad, you ain't bring us nothing on Christmas."
Right.
Like,
You really got to get over that real quick. Like,
Like, oh,
okay.
here we go.
Yes,
You know,
so-
so
Yeah.
it's a different dynamic, and I think that our families that go through the families that go through these things, somebody in the family is going to have to be the voice of reason.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody in the family is going to have to say, all of that was yesterday, and we as a family have to start over. Even if you don't say it to the family, you must also sort of portray it in how you relate to your family. And people will sort of follow that. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The
Yeah.
people follow that because there are a lot of things that happen in our past in the family, in our family groups that we just don't talk about. We don't want to talk about. And if we do talk about them, they bring up so many old wounds that it becomes a fight. It
So
becomes
I'm
a
that
battle.
person.
Okay, whoa.
I am so that person.
let's hear this.
When I went on this journey, I went back home to my aunt and started asking her questions.
Really?
Yes, my cousin Sean was with me because I want to know why are we. So my mother is schizophrenic and bipolar. God rest her soul. She passed away, COVID,
Okay.
and I feel like that was my baby
Mm.
because I know from the day that I can remember, we've always taken care of her.
Okay.
You know.
Oh, so she was your baby.
Yes, I feel like
You
she
raised
taught
your
me to learn to love a person unconditionally.
Because you had to love her.
Yes.
Wow.
That is something, Shereen.
Like she couldn't be like a regular mom
yeah.
because she was dealing with her stuff.
Right.
And she used to have seizures really bad. So it was like we were always taught like how to take care of her. She fell out on the floor and started having a seizure.
Right.
Or if she was having one of her schizophrenic moments
Mm.
and stuff like that. And I remember like the men she would date, one was holding her hostage. I remember us going to the house trying to get her out.
Wow.
Like it was just different things that she really taught me. She didn't put me in a headlock, beat me up.
Wow.
So she really gave me that thing to love people just where they are
Yeah.
and
So-
all of their stuff.
So when you went down there and talked to your aunt,
So when I went and talked to my aunt, I really wanted to know if it was like like if it was in our genes,
Hereditary.
like
Hereditary.
who. Because I found out another cousin has it now.
Okay.
And it was funny because when I was growing up, my family used to make fun of my mother. And they used to always be like, you know, she was the crazy one.
Right.
But now to see that other people are now having the same symptoms or
Yes.
going through that, it was like, okay, well, wait a minute.
Right.
Who back then was like that?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So she had told me, well, she didn't want to tell me at first because you know how families be like, they don't want
wanna
to talk about
they don't
stuff.
Like, yeah, they
Yeah.
don't. Yeah, yeah. It brings up too
They
many.
don't.
Yes.
It brings up too many
really
old
don't.
wounds, and they don't talk about it because it brings up too many old wounds. I'm
Oh,
keeping
no,
it
you
there.
good.
And there's a possibility that you have to see the person that wounded you,
Oh,
that
yeah.
hurt you.
Oh yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just like keep it under the rug, even if ain't no more room under the rug.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just we're gonna do it.
We gonna
If it's
hide it.
lumpy, yeah, just let it be lumpy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
it's not good.
As the person on the other side is like, you owe me this.
Some as people feel like that.
You-
Yeah, they do. Yeah,
Answer
yeah,
my
yeah.
questions.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
so-
Go ahead, Sheree. Go
I
ahead.
mean, I have stories for days. So I asked her, and she told me that my grandmother, mother, had suffered from depression
Okay.
Okay.
back in the day, really bad. So it just I guess
Yeah.
it's just something that's in it. So I just pray. I know for me, I pray over my mind daily
Yeah.
because just like I was, I realized like my great aunts had Alzheimer's
Okay.
and stuff like that. So it's like, you know, you gotta learn your family and where you come from and what they be going through because it can affect you later on.
Yeah.
So I mean, story of the country.
Let's go.
My grandfather tried to kill my grandmother.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wait a minute. Let's hear it.
Now,
Wait.
I wasn't ready for that
I got
one.
a
I know. I
story for
was
you.
like, okay.
You want to
All
talk
right.
about country story?
Let's go. Let's
When
go.
I was 7.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm a people watcher.
Okay. So you watch people.
I watch people.
Okay.
I used to watch.
Like you're an observer.
I used to sit and watch my grandmother and grandfather. So
Okay.
I always knew when he was ready to argue. And you know, in the country, we had one TV. It was that big, huge one.
Yeah,
In the
It
living
was
room.
like black and yeah,
Black and white.
with
Four
the black
legs.
and white. Yes.
Yes.
So you know, we ain't have cable like
Yeah.
everybody have, and all this nice stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So we had to be creative.
Yeah.
So I used to record them arguing.
Oh, wow.
Really?
I
Like
had
on a tape
recorder.
player?
Yes, on a little cassette tape.
You had the one from Home Alone with the. Did you hear that one? Did you have that one?
No,
I'm
it
about
was a
to
big one.
say no.
And I always knew when it was like spread, like I don't know what he was going through, but it would be certain times of the month, and he would like sit in his chair, and you could just tell he was just ready to pick with her. And this
Yeah.
time was like it went to the left,
Wow.
and I had it all on tape,
Really?
the whole thing.
Wow.
And my sister was on crutches, and I got everybody out the house.
You did.
So
At 7
serious.
years old.
Yes. I remember I
Wow.
was so mad when we went to court because, you know, down there, Commonwealth State, they gave him the house, put us out.
Wow.
They would not listen to me. I had it all on tape.
Wait a minute. You was in
My
court too?
grandmother,
You had something to say in court?
I wanted to. They wouldn't let me talk.
I guess 'cause you were so young, maybe. Wow.
Wow.
He came in there with this white man on his arm. Already, you know, gone now. Acting so blind. I was so
You're lying to me.
I'm so serious.
Sounds like that schizophrenic gene might have been.
Because he was, like, they legally
He
said he
was
was
legally
blind.
blind.
But I'm like, this man taught my sister how to shoot. He taught us how to build stuff. Like, what?
So he
That's
came in and acted
hilarious.
like
Yeah,
he was blind.
came in there with that stick, like,
Oh, they couldn't put him to jail. They was like, oh, okay, throw it out. He was smart.
he was.
Oh my
Like,
God.
they gave him the house and everything. Like,
For real.
I'm so
Wow.
serious.
This is where you come from.
Right, right. So was he actually abusive to your grandmother?
No, I mean, you
Or
know,
was
they was
he-
married. They just had arguments. I don't know
Okay.
what was going on this day.
Okay.
But he started fussing about her giving some food to my uncle, and she wasn't paying him no mind either. She was just in the kitchen cooking and had her back turned to him, and he got up and got the gun. And I was just like, oh, this man going crazy.
Oh Lord.
And he started shooting it up in the air,
Oh,
and I was just like,
he
oh.
actually started shooting.
Yes, like you could hear us running up the street on my tape. My sister was crying because she was on crutches. Everything.
Wow.
I recorded the whole thing, and I had it for years.
Wow.
This is
I had this
serious.
tape for years.
Where was your mom doing this?
My mother was in Lynchburg somewhere.
Okay, so she
Okay.
wasn't actually in the
In
house.
the house,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
not
okay.
that house. So
okay.
a lot of times she used to go to, like, you know, schizophrenic or people with, you know,
Yeah.
Okay.
mental illness, which is very important that people learn about mental illness because a lot of our
Absolutely.
kids suffer from depression.
Absolutely.
But she used to have to go into like state institution. We had to put her in a hospital
Okay.
to get her back on track.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
This
learn-
is a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a
Man,
bit.
this is something.
So I'm just saying that people should really, like, when you try and heal and try and figure out who you are, you have to go back. You have to, like, so that's what made me go back. It made me go back and think about all the different little things
Right.
that I've encountered or went through that made me who I am.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My family suffered with sugar on my father's
Diabetes.
side. Yes.
Diabetes.
Yeah, diabetes.
See?
Right. Thank you, diabetes. On my father's side. And they talked about it, but they act like it was a norm.
Okay.
And I mean by that is like, hey, it's just what it is. It's something that we deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I never had a problem. At least I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? That I had a problem with it. I know I enjoyed it. However, I saw how some of my family were conditioning themselves and how they were functioning, and how they would just, take insulin pens, and I would see these things.
Accepting it.
Yeah,
as
accepting it. I
life.
was like this. I just eat this and put a
Yeah.
pin in my stomach,
Yeah.
and that's it. Like, whoa.
Right.
That's not
It's
it.
not the norm.
And you know what I'm saying? That's not the norm. And I remember I used to eat in my, I guess early mid 30s. I mean, I used to eat sweets for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You know, I can go through a whole apple pie
Yeah.
in a breakfast setting for breakfast. I just know that I had this major sweet tooth. When I got to a certain age, I think at 36, I seen my father started struggling with it a little bit, and see how he dealt with it. The approach he took was the approach he took, and so, but I don't think that's the proper approach to take when you are dealing with something and you know what's in your family.
Yes.
And so I then made changes, but I was already making those changes in my life. But those changes I made, I didn't need a doctor to tell me. I didn't need you know what I'm saying? I didn't need a scare.
Yeah.
Somebody to scare me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't need that. You can just see how life is going and start making certain changes within your life. And I think that that's what a lot of things our family need to do when you said you was observant. And I think that's one thing we need to do when we are around family. We need to observe. One of the things I also watched was my grandmother, God rest her soul. I used to watch my grandmother sit in front of a television, just watch TV. So we would be talking and you know, all of us, you know what I'm saying? And just call her mama. Mama just sit there and she just watch TV for like 6-7 straight hours and wouldn't turn it. I'm like, she's not moving.
Yeah.
She wouldn't even go to the bathroom.
Wow.
This is all day. She
6,
won't even
7
talk.
hours.
Just sit there and watch. One day I counted. Like she's just watching TV.
Yeah.
So they can do this, be okay, and not move. Not make a move at all. They can do this all day long and just be okay with it. And that's kind of, so now I'm watching these, and I'm watching trends of this in my family. I'm watching trends. I don't want to say trends. I'm watching these characteristics throughout my family. And so I watch, like you're observant, I watch all these characteristics. But here is one thing that we talked about not too long ago. We said, what is the height of intelligence? And the height of intelligence is to observe oneself without judgment.
Yeah.
You have reached the height of your intelligence when you can observe yourself without judgment. I can see who I am, where I come from, and I don't have to be judged because we all ordinary, normal people.
Yeah.
We just regular, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you see your life, you see what's going on in the past, and then you look at it and say, okay, I don't want to do that.
I don't want to do that.
And
Yep.
I don't want to
Exactly.
repeat that.
Yes.
So now let me start making certain changes. Ready for this? Here's the caveat, the thing. Without holding them in contempt.
Yes. Judging
Because
them.
they are like that.
Yep.
And I think that's what we do. We come out and we say, and that is counterproductive, and that's not real deliverance.
Yeah.
And so people think real deliverance is coming out. No, that's not. That's not. Carter G. Woodson says one of the issues that we have in the black community, and this is the miseducation of the Negro, is that most of us come out and never go back and help the people that are still in what they're dealing with. So we come out of struggle, a.k.a. we get rich, and then we don't go back and share with those communities that are still in that problem. He said that's one of the big issues with our people. You coming out of something is just one stage.
Yeah, I was about to say, they don't finish the process.
In order to finish the process, you can't, the number one thing you have to do is not hold those who were in your past or who are still in your path, who are not like you, or who are not involving like you involved. Do not hold them in contempt to who they are or to what they were. Learn how to let that go. Learn how to let it go. So now everything they dealt with, and they still may be dealing with, you make that change, but don't go around them and saying, you know what, y'all still eating like this, y'all make no sense. Or you go around them saying, you know, and people do that even when they get saved.
Yes.
in church.
The holy sanctified
Yeah,
people. Oh my
yeah.
gosh.
So now they going now. You think you saved and delivered and all that stuff, but when you go to Thanksgiving, you know what I'm saying? You the one. You ain't get yourself together yet. You ain't found no man yet. Carol, you still married? You still not married? Telling the guys you still ain't doing this.
Yeah.
You really haven't been delivered until you have able to accept them where they were and give them the grace to all the time to come out the way you did. AKA just be nice. I know pastors that do the same thing. Right now, I know pastors that have discovered something in the Bible, and they said, we're going to live like this. And then right after that, they haven't even perfected what they discovered. Because once you found something, you got to take some time to work it out. Just because you found it one day don't mean you know it.
Absolutely.
It takes time to live out with that what you discovered.
Yeah.
And then you see it, you see an error, and then you throw everybody else under the bus.
Yeah.
Everybody else under the bus. And it lets me know you really don't understand it. Because if God gave you 25 years to come out of something, You get what I'm saying? You owe me another 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's called grace.
Yeah.
That is called grace. So I've learned that. So now I don't hold any. People think that I'm nonchalant. It's not that I'm nonchalant. People think I don't care. It's not that I don't care. It's the fact that it took me time. It's going to take other people time.
Yes.
Yeah.
And not everybody get it.
Absolutely.
And everybody and be okay with people that may never get it. Even though you want everybody to come out, like I just want everybody to be saved. I want everybody to come out. I want everybody to do like this. Truth be told, it's not going to be everybody.
Yeah, I think that it could be more people if we share the information that we receive, like during the process. Like I feel like people, I don't know if it's a laziness or if it's ignorance. I'm not really sure which one, but it's like people begin the process of healing, and they feel like, oh, I'm good, but they just don't quite finish the full circle of kind of, I guess, going back there to fix some of those things that were kind of like off balance. But I feel like if we would share the information more, like for example, like with what you're teaching, or like people that are coaching and things like that, that they could, more people could, not all people, but more people could be more informed, and they could kind of get better insight on it. Like for example, when you were talking about the diabetes, it's a serious myth that diabetes is genetic. It's not genetic. It's something that we can actually change. Same thing with schizophrenia. Schizophrenia is not actually technically genetic, but it is something that most people can inherit because of what they're exposed to. So if I live in a house with people that eat apple pie for breakfast, they warm a little apple pie with some ice cream for breakfast, and then we do the same thing for lunch and dinner, like most likely my blood sugar is going to be elevated and I become diabetic. So, but after I learned that this is not what's good for me, and now I'm teaching my family that this is not what it is, like I'm sharing the information and they're sharing the information, and we kind of stop a problem that's kind of happening amongst us.
Is that realistic?
What do you mean?
Like amongst families, is that realistic?
Absolutely.
It
if
is.
If the information is shared.
Okay,
yes.
so in the let's just say in the I'll just use a normal family, just a regular family.
Yeah.
If a regular family is saying, "Hey, I've been doing this all my life," and I'm older than you,
Yeah.
and I am, you in your 30s, you're the new kid that think you know something because you learned something, but I'm child. This is what I've been doing, and you still share it. Most times, the information that you share will become sort of, when is it just harassing? Just because you found something, does it mean you're obligated to share it every time you see me? Or my question is, what process do you use? You like, hey, I found something, I'm good. Y'all doing this wrong. I mean, is that or y'all shouldn't be drinking that, or you shouldn't have that for breakfast. You should have a fruit or something like this. Is that how you sharing?
No, I don't. If you're asking for what is my
method, yes, what method do you have? Because for me, it'll just for the average family, you're just harassing.
Yeah.
And they do me like that, and not me per se, but people like that in church. You like, I found God. Y'all still this? It's harassment.
So for me, I guess it's easier because I do it every day with the patients that I work with. And we don't approach it on a harassment field. We kind of do more of an assessment. So it's in our daily conversation. So if I see you and I come in your room, and even if you're my family, and what I see you eating is like 25 pancakes with like mad syrup on it and like whipped cream, I'm like, wow, do you check your blood sugar like daily, or do you do any, like I just kind of bring it up into the conversation and allow them to kind of tell me how they feel, and I can already kind of sense if you're a little angry about us talking about this, or if you kind of okay to kind of go along with the conversation. I think that the educational piece is the most important. Like when I show you the facts, I leave it up to you to decide what you want to do. I don't beat people over the head like, hey, like, you got to do this. We're going to be giving you insulin, because some people have come to like, hey, I'm 80 years old. Like, I'm not changing my diet, period. I just take the insulin. I've been taking it, and that's fine. But like that, the factual information about what could happen, what's happening, you're already experiencing these things. This is what it looks like. This is kind of, your future to a certain extent, especially if they're already in the path where they're losing limbs. Like a lot of people start losing their limbs, and they're losing their sight, and just all of these things. And they're like, well, why is this happening? This is why it's happening. And this is how you can change it.
Okay, so you go to family, but your patients come to you.
So they're more open to hearing what you're saying.
No, a lot of
Go
them
for
are
it.
not.
But they come to you though.
Not necessarily. They might be in the hospital, but sometimes they're not even there for that. We just notice that that's happening when we like look at their lab work and things like
what
that.
I'm saying is the patient dynamic and the family dynamic is not the same.
Right. So I've used 2 examples.
Okay.
I've used the example with the hospital because that's where I am. When I'm with family, like I'm with family now.
How you do family?
As I've changed my diet, like I started actually with my family by showing like a documentary of What the Health. I don't know if you ever seen that. But because they like to watch TV, because they kind of into that kind of stuff, I thought that would be the best way for me not to say it and for them to actually get some like factual information about what this food can kind of do to you without me sounding like, some type of way. And that was very effective. It was like, oh, I didn't know that, even though I've said it 20 times. Like, they really kind of weren't necessarily listening to that. But I just take the gradual approach as they tell me about their health and things like that. My blood pressure is extremely high. Okay, the Lay's chips every day probably not going to be the best thing for you to eat if your blood pressure is kind of high. So I kind of take those kind of things without being abusive or harassing them. Yeah. I don't harass. I mean, I put my point out there. If you're feeling it, okay. If you're not, okay. And honestly, most of the time, after people say that they're not feeling it, somewhere down the line, whether it's a month or a year, they come back like, this is getting worse. And then I let them come to me in that way. But I don't beat people with the information.
Yeah, being a nurse, people will listen to you because you're in that field.
Sometimes
they listen to you because you're in that field. And like being a preacher, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Same thing. So the same thing. But okay, so now you got if I'm a preacher, I know that people will listen to me when I discuss things about the Bible.
Okay.
And and I'm talking about family. Mm-hmm. They'll be more open to hearing from me talking about the Bible, opposed to if I'm speaking about another subject. If I'm talking about, I know you got the Bible packed, so they're cool with me when I'm dealing with the Bible. Mm-hmm. But when I'm talking about something health and something like that, then I got no one says anything, but it becomes a sort of but okay, we want you to be the preacher. You know what I'm saying? We got you locked in rev mode. You always the preacher, so we need to be married. Need some ideas. That
might be what they want.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But see, the deal is, so we know right and wrong. But I guess my question is the relationship. Mm-hmm. And so how do we maintain those relationships? Because you will get that here they go again. Because every time you see me, when I come to a Thanksgiving dinner, I do not want someone looking over my plate. Like,
right.
So you going to eat that again?
Definitely not.
Or you going to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Here they come. Or here you coming in, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I got to, So I go to my family house and sometimes they drink. Uh-huh. But I didn't nobody put no drinks away when I walk in the door.
Right.
Like no one's putting and people look at me and people look like, and I don't drink, right? And like, Shereen like part of my family.
Pour me another one, Earl.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I'm serious and people look at me like, that's the sign of what they disrespecting you. I don't feel like that's disrespect. I feel like I am walking into their house.
Okay.
I am walking into their abode. Mm-hmm. I am the guest.
Yeah.
I am not the host.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I am walking. It is for me to be the person that, you know what I'm saying? Put that hat away. That reverend hat. Put that hat away and just be family. And I know a lot of people who cannot be. Put it away. They can't put that weight just to be family. And so, because they have learned something, studied something, some level of spirituality, mm-hmm. they sort of let that sort of get in the way of the relationship they have with their family. Now they by themselves, and now they're never invited to anything
mm-hmm.
at all because of the relationship. So I've learned that part. Your approach is good. I've never thought about that approach. Just show them something. My approach has been, even in family, friends, whatever I do, my approach is, once you watch how I look, from the way I've been doing things, mm-hmm. and you're watching the way I think, mm-hmm. you're watching the way I look, you're looking at the fact that I'm not aging as much. They see all these things, and they come to you and saying, are you getting facials?
Yeah.
They come to you saying, Sharina asked me that, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're keeping yourself looking good. What is it?
Yeah.
Now we can have the conversation.
Yeah,
people do observe and they say,
if you have enough time. But for those that don't have enough time to like sit there and watch your process of aging, like
they watching you. People don't looking at you.
I know. I'm just saying that over the time. Sometimes they don't. That could be over a year span, and some
Like
things.
5 years.
Okay, 5 years. That's even worse.
Yeah.
What I'm saying
yeah.
is sometimes people don't have 5 years.
What you mean?
Sometimes people are they're so sick that 5 years is not kind of in their spectrum of time where they might have. So what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that this is something you should necessarily do.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that if when you're in, or if somebody like you, like a pastor or whatever, like you said, sometime if you come into the company of someone and they want you to stay in that particular role, but you do know information about other things or about this particular illness or whatever is going on with the person, I think that it should be more of a personal approach, but not like man, auntie, you really need to stop eating that. Like, they need to know why they need to stop eating that and what it could do. I'm just saying that they need more of a larger range of why. Why do I need to stop this? You're telling me that it's not good for me, but why is it not good for me? And what is it going to do? And why is it affecting this and why is it affecting that? And I'm not saying you got to go into an hour-long conversation. I'm just saying that I think that when people understand the why, it's like just like you tell us about the research and all of those kind of things like that, it's just easier to accept instead of, hey, just stay in your lane. Because you researched it and you know about it, and why I can't say nothing about it, because what you're saying is right. I am experiencing this, and that to me could help sooner than later. Like 5 years for somebody to finally be like, wow, what are you doing? I need to find out. It's kind of might be too late.
Yeah, and I'm not just talking about health. I'm talking about relationships.
Okay.
I'm talking about, family. I'm talking about business. I'm talking about spirituality. When you're looking at all those things, you look at people and you say, what are you doing? Like someone could ask you, how have you actually dealt with the relationship between you and your dad?
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at you, and I'm looking at, you're not tearing up. You don't look like you are covering up. Because sometimes, and I'm a minister, so I can see people lying. I can see right through it. You can see, at least I can see right through it. And I know when somebody's still dealing with it.
Yeah.
And to say, I'm still dealing with it. However, I've come to the place or to the phase in my life where it is what it is.
Right.
And that's a beautiful place to be. And so my, I guess it wouldn't be a concern, but my process to this would be, if you become it and be the light, and then people is going to be drawn and said, hey, what are you guys doing? Yeah. Why are you looking? Why are you smiling? Or how are you making it? Somebody's going to come to you and ask the question. And I think that for me, that's the role I've been taking lately. So, and in preaching, we are always being productive, not only productive, but sometimes, most of the times, progressive. We are very progressive. And not only progressive, proactive.
Okay.
So pastors set up their meetings, AKA Bible study is on this day.
Yes.
Sunday worship is on this day.
On this day.
At this time. Sabbath
this
worship
day.
is on this time. So we set up the meetings. So there was a proactive approach to what we're doing, opposed to somebody calling and saying, hey, we need some help. Come see us. So we have that proactive approach. And so now, in that sense, I think that can carry over into family and how we deal with people and people in our neighborhood and friends.
Yeah.
And so we just proactive. Guess what? Because we're so accustomed to telling people, you know what I'm saying? When we see people, we just want to tell them. And that's where that's where I have to pause a little bit. Because, yes, I do want to tell you, I know you see it, but when you see me, I would like for you to see, if we friends, a friend. Like, I've been your pastor for years. You go to another church now.
Yes.
You didn't give me your resignation, but you go to another church.
I asked Amanda, did I need to send one? And she said I didn't. She said,
no. You asked me. No, don't talk that way.
This is always my family church.
I ain't get no resignation. She goes to somebody else's church now. I've been your pastor for years. I've been your pastor for years.
Yes.
But we've always been friends.
Absolutely.
And I have never been a pastor to you when you needed a friend.
Okay.
When you needed a friend, you call me, and she would call me and say, I want to
call her.
talk to
Yes.
my friend.
I'll talk to my friend.
And I already know there's going to be some 4-letter words.
Yep. I just need to get that disclaimer out before I talk like I want to talk.
Let me
the
let you know
4-letter
what kind of
words.
conversation.
It's not Luke. It's not Mark. You hear what I just said?
It's not love.
It's not love. It's going to be some. She said, hey, 10 o'clock at night, I want to talk to my friend.
Yeah.
And let's go.
But see,
Go
I
for
feel
it.
like kids nowadays, I work with a lot of teenagers, they don't have friends. I mean,
Okay.
genuine, true friends.
That they can talk
And
to.
I feel like I have that. Like, a lot of people like, I got to go to a therapist, I got to do this. I feel like my friends are that. I know which one to go to about what thing I need to go to about.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know if I want to be let it out, I can call him.
Yeah.
If I want got a male opinion and he ain't going to judge me.
That's right.
And yeah, that's what you want.
Right.
Someone you could just be you. You can take off all the other stuff and look,
Yes.
this is what's wrong with me. I'm having a bad day, and this is what happened, and I feel some kind of way about it, and I might curse a couple times,
Yeah. Just a couple.
But then give me your honest
Yeah.
feedback.
Opinion. Right. Yeah.
Don't sugarcoat it.
Mhm.
That's what I love about my friends.
Mhm.
I feel like I have genuine friends where as though they tell me the truth regardless if I'm going to like it or not.
Right.
So that's what kids, it's unfortunate they don't have that.
Wow.
Because they want to fit in. So it's like, I don't want to rock the boat.
That's good. That's good.
So I'm going to just not say nothing.
Take it easy. Yeah. Keep it
And
to
just
myself.
let you be who you are.
Mhm.
And because I want to stay your friend.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what you call a friend? In her sense, it's somebody she can really let it out.
I would say someone that is able to, that I can kind of depend on. Somebody that is able to kind of be, what would I say, like honest with me, completely honest, and someone that's able to hold, because I don't talk to a lot of people. So when I do actually let out, someone that can keep our privacy, like I'm trying to think of the word, like I guess our sacred,
Confident.
our confidence. Yes,
They are confident.
they're confidants.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I know
someone
but
that's
not
able
leave
to-
your lips.
Yeah, yeah, and that person that when you call, like they're able to almost. I don't want to say just always just to relieve you, but you feel a little lighter when you
After
finish
you talk
talking
to them.
them. Yeah,
They
there's someone
a
that's
listening
there.
ear.
Yeah, definitely,
Because
definitely.
sometimes you don't want a lot of feedback. Sometimes you just. So I was in an abusive relationship before,
Okay.
right? And when I was going through that season, my sister, who is she's my friend. I met her here, but she is like my sister.
Right.
Like
Your blood
you'd have
sister
thought
almost.
that I
Yeah.
grew up with her. I'll never forget the day she was like, "Look, this is not you, but I can't go through this season with you."
Mm.
And for 10 years we were not friends.
Wow.
Like she really could not be there, but it was friends like you, for instance, and Big Head used to be my people who I could cry to when I felt like nothing,
Right.
and I could just let it out to be able to fight another day. So you need them kind of people. That's my friends to me. I feel like I can count them on my hand. I don't need a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just know that when I really matters, you are there for me, and you're not gonna make me feel bad about it.
Yeah. Okay.
And it helps you through them dark moments. And God, and I used to hate church when I was younger because my uncle was a preacher, and we used to have to go to every service. You know that church where you was in there 7 days a week.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Yeah.
You're there.
You know about that.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, but I think I have that spiritualness from when I was younger because prayer helped too.
So with those friends, right? Like you were saying that you have certain people that you go to for
Yes,
certain things.
certain things.
So do you have the group that you go to when you want them to be completely honest with you, and the people that you go to when you kind of just want to vent and you know they're not going to say anything? Do you have them separated like that?
So my sister is the one that I know that I could tell her anything. And I know that she's not going to judge me. Then I might have them friends that I might vent about business or a little, surface stuff. But then you got them people like him. I can be like, look, this is what happened. I'm going to tell you the real thing.
Right. I'm going to tell you the real thing.
Buckle up,
This is the real story.
Buckle up, Fliggins.
I'm going to really tell you what happened. I really need your advice. And, because sometimes when you go through stuff, you feel shamed a little bit. And you don't want to tell anybody or you don't want people to know. And then, especially when you go against a decision that you normally wouldn't go against. So it's like, oh, I need some advice.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna tell you because you done been through something and you might not give me the right advice. So I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna tell you, and and I
know
need
exactly
you to
what you
be.
mean.
You get what I'm saying?
I
Like
do.
it's different friends for different things. Like you got your turn up friends,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got the friends, for
Yeah,
business.
Yeah, yeah,
And then you got, I have friends for every part of me because I'm a lot.
Wow.
I do not.
I feel like all my friends get to who I am all in one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's true.
Wow.
But it's funny, like even like you were saying, like the kids today are like very private. They really don't want to talk or whatever. But I feel like I was like that as a young person. I was extremely private, just in general, based off of like my upbringing.
Mm-hmm.
But to the point where even like my best friends, like I didn't tell them like when I lost my virginity, I didn't talk about things that were extremely private. Like I just, and maybe it was some shame there. Maybe I just felt like I needed to have like this perfect thing, and I didn't talk about it. So I just wonder are some of the young people like facing like some of that?
They are.
Yeah.
Like I have a lot of teenagers around me. I have a lot of preteens around me, and then little kids. So I feel like I'm around all ages.
Mhm.
And as far as like teenagers, I feel like a lot of them going through a lot.
Mhm.
Society they kind of confused a little bit.
Mhm.
Like especially when it comes to they jump from dating girls to guys. They date whoever.
Yeah.
Because a lot of them are looking for love too
Exactly.
and acceptance.
Exactly.
So and then like when they going through stuff, they really feel like they can't talk to adults, so they talk to other peers
Right.
who are going through something. So it's more of like us. Like for me, I have teen talk.
Oh,
Okay.
nice. I was about to say, do they feel comfortable with
And
you?
I'll be like, look, I'm not Miss Sunshine. I'm not Ma. I'm not none of that.
Right.
Like, what's going on?
Right. And do they open up?
And they tell me stuff. So
Wow.
I'd rather use, I feel like because I didn't have that,
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I wasn't taught about my period or,
Yeah.
you know what I'm
Understand.
saying, what to do
Mhm.
and going to the doctor and checking all that stuff out, because I had fibroids and I got sick real bad. I didn't
Okay.
know about any of that.
Wow.
So I think in my age now, talking about sex and stuff like that, like no one taught us
Yeah.
about
no,
that.
Absolutely.
You
It was
were
like
just
private.
out there
It was like
doing
a
it
secret.
and didn't know what you were doing or
Yeah.
who you was
Right.
doing. Like you just was out
It's
there.
a secret. Nobody wanted to talk about it.
So it's just like I'd rather them talk and let me teach you about your body.
Right.
And teach you
How
about
to
being
protect
clean
yourself.
and how to protect
Yes.
yourself. And if something happens, like come talk to an adult. Like
Yes.
don't think you gotta figure it out on your own.
Yeah.
And how a man's supposed to treat you. Even if you giving up the goods, don't let him just come lay up with you.
Right.
Like he should take you out. He should treat you nice. He should. So it's like we don't have these conversations with the kids nowadays, and they just doing any and everything.
Mhm.
And a lot of kids are just raising themselves.
Yeah.
So
They just learn it on TikTok, or they just learn it on.
yes,
wherever.
and then IG just shows you so much, and kids just growing up so fast. I know everything was in a closet kind of for us. Everything was private, but then now everything is just out there.
Yeah.
So I feel like we need like
Available.
a happy medium.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
like we
That's
still
good.
should keep the innocence of kids, but we also should still educate them at a certain age
Okay.
Absolutely.
too.
Happy medium. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's gotta be a balance about we're losing a lot of tradition.
Yeah, we are.
Like, I was raised to set the table. I was asking
Oh,
kids
yeah.
like, you know how to set the table?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
yeah,
true.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
You
true.
know, set the table. What you talking about?
We don't even sit at the table.
Right? We don't
go
even
to our
sit at the
room.
table. We go to our room and eat. But then that
That's
takes away
serious.
from the conversation
Absolutely.
at dinner time.
Absolutely.
Right.
How was your day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you do today?
The dynamic of the family has
Family,
changed so much,
yes.
though. People
Families
are
are
working at
so
that time. It's a lot.
Single moms, they just stick to themselves. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't mess with my family. Or this and this. And it's just so unfortunate because kids don't grow up with the aunts and uncles that they could lean on if they didn't have dad or mom around.
Right.
Or, they can gravitate to that kind of male or female energy. They kind of replace what they were missing.
Yeah.
So if you stay to yourself and you don't have that, what is it, a village
Mhm.
Yeah.
that they talk about. So who do the kids,
That's right.
who
Depend
raised
on-
them?
right.
Yeah.
If mom at work, she got work, and she got to work 2-3 jobs, and then that leaves the older child to become the,
Take the responsibility.
and then now they feel like they almost a parent, and then they go through stuff with them. But then you mad when they 16 out here doing whatever. But at the
Yeah.
end of the day, they was grown.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
kinda
yeah,
caused
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yep, yep,
So
yep.
it's like the kids going through a lot now. So we just gotta keep praying for them.
And I think that so I don't believe in the reset button. I really don't.
Okay.
I mean, I think I really don't believe in the reset button. I really don't believe in the reset button. I don't think it's I don't think it's real. I'm not. I was never the person who believed in the woman or the man that says I'm a born again virgin.
Okay.
I was never that guy.
Oh, yeah.
You just stop.
Like,
you
what
just,
is that? Like, once you've done it, like going
Yeah,
back
yeah,
over.
Yeah,
and
once you got saved, you stop having
Oh.
sex. So they
Yeah.
call themselves a
Oh.
born
You know how
again
people
virgin.
be, they
Oh,
be
yeah,
like,
yeah. Oh, okay.
Like
I
before I
ain't had
got
sex in a
saved,
year. I'm a reborn
I'm
virgin,
saying I'm a
you
born
know.
again virgin. So
Like,
I
no.
never
No.
bought into that concept. Never did. So I don't believe in the reset button. But I do believe that, because I don't even believe that things are going back. So all the traditions that we had, we have lost.
Yes.
So they're not coming back.
Definitely.
And so no matter what we try to do to reset, we're not going to reset it. I don't matter. It doesn't matter what the Democrats are saying, and Republicans, they are dealing with that right now. They're just trying to find somewhere to say, okay, the pendulum has swung too far one way. Let us swing it another way. But if you swing it too far one way, it will swing the other way, and it will be extreme. And so now people are living on either end of extremes. And so since people are living on either end of extremes, we really don't find that medium,
It's a
medium
medium.
that we need. And so in the middle of all of this, while we're trying to find it, somebody got to have, there have to be somebody with a navigational tool. And I believe that in the extremes, you can still be navigated through storm waters.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I believe in navigating people through the storm. That's Anthony Fliggins. That's my philosophy.
Yeah.
So if you're in something crazy, okay, this is how you handle your crazy.
That's how you handle it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're dealing with your boredom, this is how you handle your boredom.
Exactly.
You just on either end of the extreme. You know what I'm saying? If you, and people are. So people are like, hey, man, my life is like this, and this. Like, this is how you handle yourself.
Yeah.
Truth be told, so what's this? So when someone come to me saying, I'm sleeping around a lot, A, B, C, D, it's coming to me and stuff like that, and I don't go like, you shouldn't be doing that.
Right. Right.
Please
And
don't.
I'm not. We talking to adults.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so, but I will come to you and say, hey, what do you feel like when you
After.
finish?
Yeah.
What is the energy? I am trying to get you to pay attention to what you're doing, just so we can have just so you can sort of, if you want, because something
An assessment.
in you have said, I'm too far. I'm too far gone. What is this? Something in you, because I didn't say it to you. You came to me and said it. So, okay, now let's see what you're really saying. Because you're dealing with one thing, but there is something else you're saying that you're not telling me. That's why you need that navigational tool. What's the energy? And 9 times out of 10 is the reason you're dealing with this right now is because you're unsatisfied. And why do you feel unsatisfied when you're done?
Right.
It ain't the sex. It's the person you're having sex with. Something in you have not settled your spirit. That's a different way of talking to an adult opposed to saying, just stop. You shouldn't be doing that.
Absolutely.
Yes, you can say that. Yes, you. And most times people will say that. That's it. But I'm trying to get you to at least see what you're dealing with,
Right.
so you can make
Let
proper
you make the
decisions
decision.
as you move
Yeah.
forward. There is something that you're doing that you're not paying attention to,
Right.
on either extreme.
Yes.
And to the person that's bored, I ain't doing nothing. My phone is off. Everything is dry. Ain't nothing is going on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Are you putting yourself out there?
Right.
Or is the truth is you feel like you're really not as attractive?
Right.
Is something else going on? You know what I'm saying? This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. You're not allowing your light to shine.
Shine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so so when you say I'm bored, I then ask, are you covering anything? Are you avoiding anything?
Yeah.
Are you hiding from something? So I'm not just dealing with, hey, you should get out there. No. Let's pay attention. What do your weekends look like? What do your days look like? How do you feel? Who are you running from?
Yeah.
What are you not sure about? So I am asking those questions, and the reason I'm asking those questions is because I just feel like on either extremes you have to navigate. The waters can be either murky, or you can be in a storm.
Exactly.
Either way, somebody got to say peace be still,
Absolutely.
so we can get to the other side. Because we cannot stop in the middle of the water. The reason why you're on this journey is because you come from one place and you are going to another. And I think that's where I find a lion's share. And so we got to help people to navigate through all this
Absolutely.
stuff. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the approach I take.
That right there, it assists with the self-reflection piece. It just helps you to really look internally and pull it out of yourself and
Absolutely.
go forward with it.
Especially with the person that's hopping from place to place. I just feel like even though they might not be getting something or might not be satisfied with that person, I think it comes from a deeper.
It is.
It comes from a deeper inner, like
Something's
going
going
in them.
on.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That they're not
Something's
dealing
going-
with. And a lot of people who have been molested or
It's true.
abused or stuff like that can go that route.
Right. This is true.
They mentally in their head identify with sex that way,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mhm.
And then the other ones might shut down.
That's true.
Right.
This is true.
So it just depends on which
With spectrum.
you're on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, each child is different. Like
Yep.
some who have
And
been
adults.
and,
And
and, it go,
adults.
and it, so what we go through, that's my thing.
Uh-huh.
I feel like it's the whole. I want to deal with the whole body, mind, body, and soul.
Mhm.
What we go through as a child really does affect us as
Amen.
adults, and when we don't deal with it, it stays there with us. We carry it. We just mask it. I tell Raven that a lot too.
You're speaking my language.
I was like,
Stay
stop
closer.
pushing it down.
Mm-hmm.
If you keep pushing what's going on with you or how you feel or your emotions, you're not fine.
If you keep suppressing.
You just suppressing it.
Yes.
And it shows up as an adult.
And it shows up as an adult. All you're doing is keep putting on layers and layers of masks that one day you're going to have to take off. So if you learn to deal with it now or work through them, which I learned a lot of kids don't have social skills now. Like we was outside playing. We went through different issues with kids and learned how to navigate through that. A lot of kids do not have social skills. And it's hard for them to introvert. To go around a bunch of kids who are not introverts, you know, and
Right.
try to figure out where do I fit in.
Yes.
And the ones that want to wear different stuff, they worry about what society going to say.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, well, just be yourself. Who cares? You know, and it's hard for a person that always been like that to talk to a person that you gotta learn like everybody don't have that in them.
Right.
You know,
Mhm.
to not care what people think,
Mm-hmm.
to not feel like somebody gonna talk about me or they're not gonna like me or they're gonna
Mhm.
make fun of me. You know,
Sometimes when they do, they go out and they get bullied, and
and
it's
they get
just a
bullied,
whole,
and then bullying is different now.
oh,
Like
yeah.
we got bullied. It was just in school. It was a ha ha ha. Now it's on social media. They make a meme out of you. They make school
Dangerous.
chats and make you feel the worst.
Mhm.
Like she went through where they was dropping her iPhones have the little location. They was
AirDrop.
dropping her location in school, trying to find her. Like
Wow.
kids is ruthless. they
Dangerous.
is. So I think parents really gotta talk to their kids. Like really just take off the parent hat, take off being judgmental, and like just talk to them. Because what if you are their only friend?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What if they really don't have friends in school?
Right.
Mhm.
If you're not going to school and you really not, and you working 24/7, you really don't know what's going on with them.
Mhm.
And a kid will tell you, "I'm fine, quick."
Uh-huh.
And if we're busy, tired from work, got our own problems, we don't have a social life, you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
take that fine and just be like, okay,
Kids always say, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Good.
I'm good.
Yeah, everything's fine.
I'm good.
I'm
Everything's
good.
fine. That is their favorite.
That's how I was in my mother. Everything
Wow.
fine? Yeah. Everything's great.
Everything's fine.
You don't even know what you're missing. You don't
Yeah,
even
yeah.
know. You don't even miss those conversations. You don't know what they are.
Yep. So it's good to just talk to them. Talk to them and see. And then they're basically going through what we went through, just differently.
Okay.
And they really feel like we don't know nothing. And it's just trying to get them to understand, like, I was once a teenager. Like, I used to have them problems too. Like, it might not be as drastic as yours, but I went through it. I can kind of help you.
Yeah. And parents today, because we don't have the traditional times where we sit at the table,
Yeah.
you have to take those, you have to make those moments.
Yes.
Yep.
Those
And pay
rides in the car.
attention. Those rides in the car, I was about
Yeah.
to say. You have to make those, you have to almost make them and pay attention.
Yeah.
So with mine, Anthony was like 17, and I was taking him to school. 17, 18, I don't know, he's 19 now. The 17, 18, I one of them years I was taking him to school. And we would always talk on the way to school.
Mhm.
And you just go and talk and whatever. And it was, to me, it's just normal, ja, laugh. This is how Pop-Up was. This is how I'm doing. This is what y'all should do when y'all get out of school. Just talking. I really didn't know the importance, the depth of those conversations until a couple of times I couldn't take him to school. I'm going to call y'all Uber. Nah, we good. We want you to take us.
Wow.
I'm saying, yeah, y'all got to get to school. I got to go over here. I got to go to court. I got to go to this. I got a business meeting. I got to go do that.
They like, nah.
They were like, you can't take us?
Wow.
And I'm saying to myself, it's an Uber. Just get an Uber and go to school.
Yeah.
Like, But you can't take us. We don't want to go. And then some days they didn't go. Some
just that
days
time with you.
it was that time in those conversations. And they said, that's that again, navigating. And when I saw that, I always made it my business. And even today, one of them are in school and one of them both of them in school right now, but one graduated. So I still make myself available in the morning.
Right.
As to where they're going and what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Justice is learning how to drive. So hey, get behind the wheel,
Get
man.
behind the wheel.
Let's
Let's
rock
go.
and roll. Let's talk. That's why we're talking,
Right.
moving forward. But I take those moments,
Utilize every moment.
every moment.
Every
So
moment.
we don't have those sit around the table.
Nope.
That lifestyle is
Sunday
gone.
dinners,
Sunday
nighttime
dinners.
Right.
dinners.
Yeah.
That was gone. So you
Family
got
dinners.
to kind of make those moments
Yeah.
in whatever you're doing, and with the availability, take full advantage of them. And then, parent, all I have to say to you is, open your mouth.
Yes.
Just trust what you're going to say,
Yeah.
even if it sounds weird,
Mm-hmm.
and even if their response, like, whatever, man, whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just open up your mouth.
Yeah.
You know how just say
Let
something.
them know
Something.
I care. Yeah.
Say something.
Mhm.
And
They're
some-
gonna probably, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna get it.
They
Yeah.
get
Just
it.
gotta say something.
Stay
Something.
with it. Stay
Yeah,
with it.
just
too.
say
Absolutely.
Don't
something.
stop.
And the conversations gotta be different, depending
Listen.
on who you're dealing with.
Yeah, it's true.
You know,
That's
because I
true.
feel like a lot of the teens, especially what they going through, we gotta feel like what we went through, we can't hide it.
Okay.
A lot of times as parents, we want to hold this image like we just got it together. We're so
Right,
perfect, and da-da-da-da. And that's why they don't want to listen to us.
Right.
So it's kind of like you gotta be vulnerable. Like, hey, I used to be in a relationship like that.
Oh,
Absolutely.
Hey,
yeah,
I
yeah,
know this
yeah,
because
yeah,
I went through
yeah,
this.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
You
That's
know,
true. That's
like,
Exactly.
let me meet you where you at,
Yeah.
kind of thing. And
Right.
then with the younger ones, it's like, you sugarcoat it a little bit.
true. Right.
Yeah.
I get
Absolutely.
it.
But with the teens and the ones, especially if they outside already
Yeah.
and they automatically acting grown.
Uh-huh.
So if you grown, I'm gonna have to talk to you a little grown,
Right.
a little bit,
Mhm.
Yeah.
so I can kind of get you to understand, like, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Listen to what I'm saying, and even if they're not listening, plant the seeds.
Yeah. I believe that.
Absolutely.
I believe that.
Yes, I feel like as much as I'm talking, I'm just planting them seeds on you. And one day it's gonna sprout.
Yes. Exactly. That's what's happening.
Because I feel like somebody was planting some on me.
That's right. That's
Because I
right.
definitely was. My Sharon was talking about it the other day. She was like, "Yeah, you was the one." I'm in college,
Right.
and I realized out of all my cousins that are the older ones, I'm gonna be the one to graduate.
I know
Wow.
that's right. I know that's right.
And I was like, wow, like I was the one that they said was wow. I was gonna be high. I was gonna do this. I was like, dang. I kind of was like, wait a minute.
Yay me.
It's like,
Wow.
the one that they counted out a little bit. I was
Yeah,
like, oh
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I wish they could see me now. Like,
Right.
so it's just like, yeah, it just be like them little moments where
Right,
you die.
right,
Kind of
right.
like tell kids like it's never too late to do this.
Yes.
It's
That's right.
never too late to do that. And even though you might be that person where everybody feel like you the wild one,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and they might be saying negative stuff about you, don't let it stop you.
Right.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
yeah.
some people, they always say sticks and stones may break my bones, and words never hurt me. I do not use that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't use it either.
Words hurt.
Because can you imagine
Very
how many
much.
words you done heard that
Yeah.
stick in your head that was so negative,
Yes.
Right.
and it sticks with you,
Mhm.
and you remember it from childhood. Like you can feel it when you
Yes.
start talking about it.
Mhm.
And I just feel like no, them words. Like I always, no matter what somebody said to me, it was just like I don't care. Like I know I'm gonna make it. like, but some kids can't do that.
Right.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
So it's like, they can't get out of what people are saying or the words that are being said to them. So it's like it takes for us to kind of people watch them
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and know when they sad or when they depressed. Because kids be cutting themselves
Oh,
and they
yeah.
be
Yeah.
doing,
All
why do you
kinds.
think that half of the kids from elementary school to high school get high?
That's right.
Yeah.
They are going through something. It's a
Absolutely.
cry for help.
Mm-hmm. Escape.
And yes, they escaping reality. Like people pick up these habits because they're trying to escape what's going on.
Yeah.
They be like, "Oh, I gotta go smoke. Can't deal with this right now."
Yeah.
Teachers get on my nerves.
Yeah.
Like you
Uh-huh.
know, and
Exactly.
it's just so sad. It really is.
Parents get on my nerves. All of that.
Yeah.
Hate my
Yeah.
parents. Like, why?
Yes, wow.
So where did you get that from? Like, where did you get the I guess the motivation to just be like, oh no, that's That's not me. Like, I'm not going to allow like those negative things that people said to not affect me. Like, that was from being a young woman. You were always
yeah.
like that.
Yes, my aunt used
Who
to call me
instilled
big
that?
as a house. I'll never forget it. I'm always been broad, thick. I used to not have a stomach. I wish it would go away now, but you know, them cheese fish subs.
Right there, Baltimore.
Yes.
Chicken box.
But my aunt used to say stuff to me that stuck with me, like, you know, and even people when I came up here, they was like, oh, she big, she this, you know. Then when I said I was coming up here, oh, she's gonna get on drugs, and she gonna be
Oh,
there.
wow.
I just never really cared.
Okay.
I really didn't. I mean, even in school, people used to call me Paul Bunyan because I had broad shoulders.
Wow,
for
that's terrible. Sheesh.
I'm serious. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
Wow.
I just really don't let it. It just
Affect you.
rolls. Yeah.
It just rolls off.
But when I was doing that journey, though, I really know that did play effect. Even though I was, that's why I said I'll be telling her don't let it push it to the side.
Mhm.
Okay.
Like to go through that moment,
Right.
feel it.
Yes.
Because when you do keep pushing it, you just moving, and you're not really dealing with it.
Exactly.
And then later on, it affects you.
It does
like
come back.
eventually, it'll come back to you.
It festers.
So even though I might have rolled off of it, when remember you said I was busy. Every time you're busy, you can't think.
Mhm.
When you're so busy, you can't sit in your moments and
Yeah.
you know listen to yourself.
Organize your
So-
thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now that I'm kind of calm and I can kind of deal with me, like I deal with me differently.
Okay.
So I don't have to be busy now. I'm not escaping nothing.
Exactly.
You know, like I don't have to be running around and doing this and this and this. Like
So you were making those things so that you didn't have to kind of like
it
deal with.
was like me being busy. It was like I'm just gonna prove you wrong
Okay.
type thing.
Mhm.
Like I didn't take the other where I was gonna like just be that person. It was like, oh, I'm gonna show you type thing. Like I'm not gonna be like that.
Mhm.
And now it's like, oh dang, I don't even care now.
Yeah. You can be more productive this way.
Mhm.
This way, you can be more productive when you just, I don't care. I'm just going to do what I'm supposed to
Yeah.
do. You're, that's much more productive.
Yeah.
Energy is different.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
All right, so what's next for you?
I really want this nonprofit to get off the ground.
Good.
That's my thing. I really like when I was talking to Tia. I want to do ministry. Like I really want to help people that was like me. Whoever is that outcast or going through something that you know dealing with.
Talk to the camera. Talk to the people.
Yeah. let me put
I
it
don't know,
on
I'm
you.
just saying.
Let me
Talk to
solo
Like
you.
let me be that
Talk to-
friend.
There we go.
Talk to them. Go ahead.
Because people be needing somebody to talk to, and I always been blessed with someone to go through. Like I done went through different phases. I done been on the was the other side where I dated women, and I remember being in church and feeling like, why am I like this?
Mhm.
I remember crying, praying to God to get this off of me.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I feeling this way about a woman? You know, like, I should not be doing this. I grew up in church. I should not be like this.
Yeah.
And it used to make me not want to come to church
Okay. Yeah.
because I felt like I was condemning myself. But then it was like, well, how can I love this person and it be wrong kind of thing? So, you know, kids be going through a lot of that stuff. And I just feel like I just want to be there for them through whatever it is.
Yeah.
Through the abusive relationship, through the I'm dating this girl or dating this guy, or I'm a he, they, whatever. Like, because I know
So
I'm one
many.
of them people that used to be a fly-by-night person. You know, I'm Liza this week, Sharina the next week,
Okay.
Sunshine now. Like, so,
Different areas.
yes. So, but in all of through them different transitions, I always met genuine people who just was like, hey, okay, you know, it is what it is. So I feel like kids don't have that now. People are always judging them if they wearing a crop top, if they smoking weed, if they doing this, if they doing that. It's like it's a lot of judgment or just letting them raise themselves. Like, we need somebody to talk to.
Absolutely.
So you're going to be that voice.
I would like to be.
And that's what this organization is
And
about.
that's what, yes.
All right.
Absolutely. Outreach.
Beautiful.
All right. Tell us how we can reach you and how can we join, how can we hook up. Tell us about
Okay,
it.
so
Go
Right
ahead.
on this camera.
right,
Cameras, we closing up. Everything was
okay,
perfect.
so
This was good.
Perfectly Imperfect is on Facebook. It's called Perfectly Imperfect Youth Services. We are located in the Park Heights community. That's where my daycare is, Rising Stars Daycare. And our phone number is 410-493-2778. That's how you can reach us.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All
How
right.
about any website or where can we follow you on
we
social
haven't got
media?
a website. It's just right now it's on Facebook. We
Facebook,
have
okay.
Yep, Perfectly Imperfect.
Good.
Okay.
That's it.
That's it.
Thank you so much, Sharina. Thank
It's
you.
been fun.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Look, Sharina came on here like I'm nervous. I don't know what to say. I said no.
And I done talked about everything. Oh
Yeah,
my God,
like-
my family gonna kill me.
No, we're not gonna do that. Everything is safe.
It's all good. It's all
not-
good.
They know me. They know me. So yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, but it was good. People didn't know that about you, so
No.
you know what I'm saying.
It helps
So-
somebody.
But you know what? I'm really private.
Yeah.
I really don't like to. I mean, I might open up to certain people,
You're
but
right.
to like be on this and yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to be a well-rounded person, a
Yeah.
person who have had certain experiences in life and could sort of meet a person where they are
Yeah.
because they realize wherever you are, it's just a piece or a part of who you are.
Yes.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and now when you understand that, then you become a piece
Mm-hmm.
to who they are.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a journey, and I appreciate everything. Thank you, Sharina.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
y'all.
Yeah. Next time you want to talk to a friend, I'll be there. Here we go.
You know, I'm a definitely
With
have a
all the
story.
four-letter words.
Yes.
Here we go.
I be working on it. I really do. Because one of the kids was like, "You're cursing."
Sorry.
Yeah,
Didn't
sorry.
realize I
My
was-
bad. I forgot you was here.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but it's all good. Thanks, Sharina.
All right. You have any announcements?
Announcements. We have LIBA, Love Investors Benefit Association. Love Investors Benefit Association. Listen, this year we have an honoree. We have a special honoree. I'm not going to tell you who the honoree is, but this is going to be good.
Yes.
December the 29th will be our big day of celebration. We're asking everybody to be a blessing and to give, to donate. Join LIBA. Join LIBA Cash App. Join LIBA or go to the website. We're asking everybody to donate $100. Like,
Yes.
what is this for? What is it about?
Come on.
See, Sharina, Anthony Fliggins, Natia Moore,
Yes.
all of us here are business owners.
Yes.
And all of us needed someone to help us while we were on our journey.
Yes.
And that's what LIBA is. That's what LIBA is. That's who we are. All of us needed some kind of help while we were moving forward. Somebody had to be there for us. Somebody had to help us paint a building, clean something out, remove something.
Yes.
Somebody had to help us with a program. We all needed that help. And so what LIBA is saying, hey, we are going to be that help.
Yes.
That financial step and that boost while we are going and people are going in the direction of their entrepreneurship. That's who we are, LIBA. Love Investors Benefit Association. Love Investors Benefit Association. Our big day is in December the 29th. Will be our big ball.
Yes.
It's going to be a beautiful. We're our first honoree. We're going to let you know in a couple of weeks who our
Yes.
honoree is. Woo. It's going to be amazing.
Amazing.
So come out and let's be blessed. You'll hear more about it soon.
Yes.
And thank God for what God is doing. And
Absolutely.
I think that's our announcements. We in church, but y'all go to the court vision to get all our church stuff. Yeah, y'all know who we are.
And then they can send
before-
donations to the $.
Yeah.
Join LIBA.
Yeah, $ Join LIBA. That's
Yeah.
right, Cash App, $ Join LIBA. You can send your donation. And so it can be $25 for the rest. $25 September, October, November, December. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Absolutely.
You know, let's just be a blessing.
And check out the
And that's
website,
what- check out the website.
www.joinliba.com.
Yes,
right?
check out. Yes, that's right. Check out the website. And that's it.
Okay.
Thank you. That's
All
what we
right.
got. All right.
Bless. Okay. Well, I'll pray us out. Lord, we thank you, God, for this time that we've had here. Thank you, God, for Pastor Anthony said and the voice here and what's going forth in your name. I thank you, God, for Sharina, Lord, right now. In the name of Jesus, thank you, God, for Perfectly Imperfect. Thank you, God, for the vision. God, I thank you, God, for the plans, God, that you have for this great business that's coming forth. I pray, God, that something that was said on tonight go forth to bless your people. In the mighty name of Jesus, we pray. Amen.
Amen. To those who are listening, real quick, those who are listening, and they're on Facebook, we are in the interim period. We are still
Yes.
working on it. So the first couple of minutes, we had some buzzing hanging there with us.
Yeah.
The buzzing we'll go over.
Yes, we
and
will.
just fast forward a little bit and pick up when country talking about the country.
Absolutely.
I hope we got that part.
Absolutely.
I
I
kinda
think
hope
so.
If we ain't got it, they can just log on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They can get it the
definitely. It's
next day.
available
But
on
it's
Apple
available.
and Spotify, so that buzzing shouldn't
I
be
hope. Yeah, it shouldn't be in that.
Uh-uh.
But if y'all watching, I hope y'all got that part. But anyway, we got to figure it out. That was excellent.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you.
Definitely. Okay, well, this has been another episode of Pastor Anthony. We did not get to the bet. We want to get to that next week.
It's cool.
Okay, this is your spiritual podcast station, and we just brought you the uncut, unblocked, and unscripted. This is the only place in the podcast universe giving you a balanced approach and a look at the other side. Everything from A to Z. Listen, this episode will be available on Tuesday. Every Tuesday, make sure you check out Apple, Spotify, Amazon, and everywhere that podcasts are available. We love you, and thank you for loving us.
You really sound like a radio person.